It's a pleasure to be here at Outlaws Sim Series. And yeah, as you mentioned, it's a quite simple track when you look at it. Obviously, only four corners, but you mentioned it. There's quite a bit of challenge within it. Four corners, all of them are quite different. Turns one and two, obviously, as you mentioned, 20 degrees of banking. Not gonna help a lot of the drivers in keeping the momentum and keeping it flat. But three and four, as you mentioned, it's flat, if not flat, nearly flat. And it's gonna be a challenge for those drivers as those tires get worn off. The cars are going to get loose, they're going to get all scrambly, and it could be a challenge later on the race or later on the stints for each and every single driver.
Yeah, absolutely. And once again, apologies for the audio issues to start off there, but howdy everyone. Once again, João Paulo Costa in for Devin Zimmerman tonight. I'm Emerson Arden, of course, rocking production commentary tonight. Vincent Cortez rocking our social media coverage. We're here, virtual, No Limits, Texas, again, for the first race in the second round of the Outlaws Sim Series playoffs. Let's get right into the point standings, as we had the eloquent description there of the beautiful Texas Motor Speedway by JP there. Now we look at the points here, and it's pretty straightforward. The points have reset, but Greg Holt, Joseph Causey, the two dominant drivers on the season, they clearly have been class of the field. If you look at the point standings, Jeremiah Stutzman starting to emerge as one of those front runners as well. Holt has a 35-point advantage over the cut line coming into today's race. Causey has 32 and Stutzman has 15. Then, this is where it gets really tight. Just like last round, there's a lot of drivers vying for only a limited amount of spots. You look at Tyler Markle, who's only 8 points above the cut line. Seth Berger, 6. Max Service, 3. Lingerfeld, 2, and under the cut line, Brad Bothwell, -2, Matthew Setzer, -4, and Seth Fitzpatrick, -7. That means, JP, that is 7 drivers within 15 points of each other going for 4 spots.
Exactly. That's fantastic, obviously, to watch, and that applies big pressure to each and every single one of them. If you look at Markel, he's 8 points above the cut line, but a small mistake can easily take that away. And same for Fitzpatrick, he's 7 points below, but a nice race, a good, calm, controlled race could really set him forward in the standings. It could really help him stay in contention. Obviously, keeping himself in those playoff rounds. So for these drivers, it's take quite a bit of pressure, to the essentially to race, to get a good result, all that sort of stuff. Obviously, as you mentioned, Holt and Causey, they're quite comfortable up there, 35 and 32 points above the cut line, but they still cannot afford to make silly mistakes, let's say.
Absolutely not. And here at the Outlaw Sim Series, we reach field sizes of nearly 30 trucks weekly. So definitely you want to keep yourself in the running. You do not want to finish 30th and have some of your playoff competition finish towards the front. Plus, there is stage points to be awarded. I know I mentioned there's no stage breaks, JP, but there is stage points. It's a little weird, I guess, for those who kind of casually follow NASCAR. They know about the stages, and we have cautions. But we do stages, but without the caution. So the top 10 in points get stage points, but we keep racing no matter what's going on at the track at that moment. So that's something intriguing. I should, I guess, clue you in early on here in the Outlaw Sim Series. Our stages tonight are going to be at the completion of lap 30. So no matter if we're green or caution at lap 30, at the end of lap 30, the top 10 across the finish line will get points. Then the same thing will happen at the end of lap 68 tonight. Again, green, yellow, no matter what, the first 10 across the line at the end of lap 68 will get stage points. And again, there will be no caution to sack the field back up or anything. So a lot of strategy can get played out tonight. You'll see maybe drivers going for fuel strategy while others try to go for maybe fresher tires. So maybe some drivers, I don't know if we will see drivers pit before that stage 1 mark, but maybe if there's an early caution, then we'll see some strategy around stage 2. Maybe some drivers save fuel to go get some stage points while others try to pit and go for the race win. It'll be an intriguing dynamic to play out. And I guess another thing is, I mean, there's a lot to throw at you here, introducing you to the Outlaw Sim Series, JP. We're doing 2 race rounds. We're in trucks, but we get a lot of people, so we still want to include a lot of people in on the championship hunt. We only have 7 playoff races. So the way to include 13 drivers in 7 playoff races is to do 2 race rounds. So Kansas and Kentucky was the first round. Greg Holt won both of those races, and we unfortunately saw the elimination of James Gilliard, who's currently top of the practice charts right now. If only he could have made it to this round, it might be a different story on the outlook of the playoffs. But James Gilliard, Theron Elam Jr., Joshua Lane Fox, who didn't race last week, they were eliminated out of playoffs after Kentucky Now we reset the points and we go at it again, but we only have Texas. And next up is the Charlotte Roval. And you know how treacherous the Charlotte Roval can be, JP. That is an elimination race. Right after, we just had an elimination race 2 weeks ago. So a very intriguing schedule at that. And we're going to take it from 10 to 7 drivers, and we'll do it all over again at Talladega to start the next round, Bristol to end that round, and Atlanta the championship race. But you look at the schedule and you take in all of that information. I know you're a sponge and you're soaking in all of that stuff I just threw at you. But what do you make of all that with the stages the way they are and the schedule how it is with the 2 race rounds?
Well, it definitely could pose an interesting challenge. Obviously, as you mentioned, the stage points without the stage caution. That, it's quite interesting in my point of view. It really could throw, like I like to say, a spanner in the mix for some drivers, as some of them try to do, I guess, a different strategy than others just to guarantee some points early on or maybe in the midway through the race. And obviously, as you mentioned, the 2-round playoffs, they apply a lot of pressure to the drivers. Obviously, you have last rounds to kind of afford a mistake. You can't really afford a mistake. And whenever you look at this round, Texas, it's going to be a challenging race. But then Charlotte Roval, that is a fantastic race. I love Roval. I love the road courses. And seeing NASCAR trucks, the NASCAR, the big cars, and then the Xfinity, and obviously the truck racing, those are going to be fun to watch in the Roval. And with the trucks, with the last grip that they have, it should really pose a challenge. And, we could really see the results getting mixed up. And obviously Talladega and Bristol, those are kind of back to the oval kind of stuff. And then obviously the finale at Atlanta, well, only a few of them will make it there. We just have to wait and see.
Yeah, absolutely. We used to have that championship 4 going at it at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. The craziness of that 3rd round. You go from Talladega, the big bad super speedway, to Bristol, one of the tightest short tracks on the NASCAR schedule. High-speed short track at that. It's going to be very intriguing as we work our way through the rounds. But tonight, we have 150 laps here at the Texas Motor Speedway stages 30-68. We'll be right back. On the far side of this break, we will have more pre-race coverage from tonight's Outlaws Sim Series, playoff race number 3, race number 18 on the season. Don't you go anywhere.
Sound art is a product that is a speaker and it's art. We combine it together and we call it sound art. What makes it so unique that any picture can be your speaker? Sound art gives you the high quality sound without the ugly speaker. This isn't a picture with a speaker, the picture is the speaker. Just imagine your wedding picture uploaded onto a canvas and now it's speaking 10,000 tunes. I mean, it's a very cool concept. What we like so much about it that you can take anything that means something very special to you, upload it on the canvas, have it hanging up in your room, your balcony, wherever you want to put it, and now it's a speaker. I mean, how cool is that? It's something that we have that and no one has. No one has this product. It's just a great gift to give anybody. It's just a neat concept. Around here we say, art never sounded so good.
Have you found yourself trying to hide your joy because you're unhappy with your teeth? Your smile is the first feature noticed in an interview, on a date, or in family photos. We want you to be able to shine bright as your best self, and our teeth whitening system is the perfect step toward restoring your confidence.
SoundArt introduces an entirely new way to listen to music in your home. By combining the best of 2 products, a revolutionary high-fidelity, low-profile Bluetooth wireless speaker with beautiful artwork. Select from a library of artwork or upload your own photos to personalize your experience. Sound art ushers in an era of invisible, beautiful, and amazing sound throughout your home and redefines your entire entertainment system. The need to reclaim your floor space and rid your home of unsightly speaker boxes that need to be bolted to the wall is now a thing of the past. Our canvas is printed on high-quality permalite by Breathing Color. And select from our gallery or upload your own. Standard sizes include 16 by 20 and 18 by 24 canvas wrapped. Custom sizing is available, as well as surround sound options.
After months of quarantine, we're all interested in how we can become our best self. The team at Permanent Makeup and Cryo is here to help you get the flawless makeup look every day without the extra effort or time. When it comes to your appearance, you deserve the best care that money can buy.
Welcome, race fans, to the virtual Texas Motor Speedway here in virtual Fort Worth, Texas. No Limits, Texas, the home, again, of one of the fastest mile and a halves in the nation. Once again, I am Emerson Arden with João Paulo Costa alongside me, filling in for Devin Zimmerman tonight, and Vincent Cortez on our social media coverage tonight. And JP, again, is thrilled to be here and joining us for some NASCAR stuff, for NASCAR truck racing under the lights here at the virtual Texas Motor Speedway. But before we get too far into things tonight, we, of course, got to give a huge shout out to all of our partners here at PitStop TV and foes like Tucson Sound Art, your picture, your music. You provide the image that you want, and we will custom create a beautifully framed, high-quality canvas with a built-in Bluetooth speaker. With Sound Art, you get the best of both worlds. Visit TucsonSoundArt.com for additional info and use promo code PitStopTV at checkout and receive 10% off of your purchase. When it comes to your appearance, you deserve the best care that money can buy, and with locations in Auburn, Lewiston, Naples, and Saco, Maine, Permanent Makeup and Cryo in Maine owner Ashley Bollier is a certified micropigmentation specialist who provides professional, safe, and personalized services. You can contact Permanent Makeup and Cryo in Maine at permanentmakeupinmaine.com, or you can call or text them at 207-358-8683. Whiplash Media specializes in various sim racing resources, including paint schemes, stream overlays, iRacing, camera packs, and more. The official graphic and camera provider of PitStop TV. And you can grab your iBroadcast cameras today at www.pitstoptv.com. And of course, BAM Racing Videos, by a race fan, for the racing community. And JP, we're here again at the virtual Fort Worth. Again, virtual Texas Motor Speedway here in Fort Worth. And practice is well underway. We'll take a look at the practice times right now. And, you'll see drivers that, again, are familiar names at the top of the standings, at the top of the charts. Greg Holt, top of the standings with 35 points with the cut line. He's there in first at the top of the charts. Joseph Causey, second at the points. He's third in the practice charts. A lot of these names you will notice as you looked at the playoff graphic a little earlier. They're on the practice charts, but one of those names, James Gilliard, he got eliminated last week, and he's second by 2 1,000ths. If he can carry that speed into the race, that almost, I guess that'd be more heartbreaking, just because of how well he's doing tonight, and not able to make it to that next round. Just very, I guess it'd be bittersweet if he's able to do well tonight in that regard, but maybe not. Maybe he's able to push past his elimination and just kind of go for race wins now. But you look at these practice times, Shape P, and you look at how tight they are. No, as opposed to a lot of road stuff, these times, these are just close by any standard anyway. But I mean, a lot of these times, there's 8 drivers within 1/10 of a second.
Yeah, exactly. You just read my mind. Being a road course driver and obviously being used to that stuff, whenever we see a time that it's 2/1000s, 20,000s of a second, 33, it's extremely close. If you look at even Pratt, if he was second place, I would be like, okay, that's a really, really close time. And that's something I got to get used to whenever I'm talking about oval racing. So, exactly as you mentioned as well, Gilliard, being eliminated last week, it could be what he may have thought is just what could have been. If I wasn't eliminated now second place, it could have bagged a lot of points if you can keep up this pace. But as you mentioned, sometimes you can just bounce back, and this could really boost his confidence for next season. Just putting in good results race after race. This could be really good. Another driver who is actually has a really good time is Service. He's 6th in point right now. He's only 3 points above the cut line, but he's 4th place. This could really help him out to maintain his positions in the playoffs.
Well, absolutely, and actually that's one of the drivers I wanted to talk to tonight, Max Service. We wanted to talk to him last week. We weren't able to get a hold of him last week, but he had no problem facing the adversity he did at Kansas to pull through and have a very, not dominant, but I guess dominant in terms of making up that points deficit at Kentucky. Max Service, from the swing of last round with the detrimental race at Kansas to the phenomenal race at Kentucky that set you up very nicely to make this round. What is your mindset even coming into Texas?
Just run good, run solid enough that we can back it up at the Roval, really. That's all that really matters. I think we'll be pretty solid at the Roval. So it's all about this one. This one's kind of a little bit of a disaster for me. I'm not the biggest fan of Texas, but I don't know. We'll find out.
I know you'll be more than, I guess, more than pleased to not have to kind of claw your way out of a deficit like last week if you're able to maintain that tonight. So what is your goal tonight? I guess what would you leave tonight feeling content with? Just finishing a top 10, some stage points? What is, I guess, the baseline goal for this 81?
Want to go run at least top 3. That'd be wonderful. But I feel like at this point with the setup, I mean, like a top 7, that would probably be pretty good for us. That's usually where we run. I don't know. We'll see if we have it dialed in or not. We're a little concerned. It might be a little too loose right now. But ultimately, we're going to find out in the race, probably about 20 laps into it, whether we're tearing right rear off to the point where we can't recover it.
So now, you say you're not the biggest fan of Texas. Last season, you were able to win, of course, here at the Texas Motor Speedway, the legacy version at that. But is it because of that reconfigured turn 1 and the kind of the difference it is? Because if you think about it, more 1 and 2, you could kind of compare it similar to the turns at Kentucky. But what say you about here at Texas?
I hated that Texas too. I actually like this Texas a lot more. I'm just not the biggest fan of it in open trucks, just because it's so hard to get right with these things, whether you're too tight, too loose, or whatever. That's why I don't like it. I mean, I'm one of the few people that actually likes this Texas over the newer one.
Oh no! As you get ran into the back, entering pit lane there. Is it safe to say you sped?
Maybe a little. Well, there's a little black flag on the left of the screen.
All right, Max, we're going to leave you to, but before we do here, we'll give you the floor to shout out. If you get a shout out, thank you. We're going to thank for getting you this far into the playoffs and looking to improve upon that.
We got to give a shout out to Seth, all the people involved there, Liftworks, Flood Brothers, Mad Dogs, and of course Berg Arts. They do a lot for us on Sundays. I mean, you can see them when I was sliding past Seth's truck there.
Right on. Well, we're going to leave you to it, Max. Once again, best luck to you in the race. Driver coming from 6th in the point standings after having to face the adversity he did at Kentucky to even make it to this point. Max Service, best luck, driver.
Thank you.
And again, driver of the number 81 Max Service has 1 win on the season. Got 2 last season before going on a over 40 race winless streak. He broke that winless streak earlier this season at Pocono. He was one of the championship 4 drivers last season, actually. So looking to try to carry that kind of momentum into the next throughout the playoffs, considering he was a championship 4 driver last season, but a driver looking to stop him is a driver we thought was going to bring the heat last season, but he's really brought the heat this season with 3 wins on the season and 32 points above the cut line. Joseph Cossie, not only is he looking forward to tonight, but he's also looking forward to the Charlotte Roval next week. He loves his road courses. But JP, I got you standing by with the driver who's got a 32-point advantage over the cut line.
So Cossie, obviously you're coming in to Texas with a really good cushion on the points. You're 32 points above the cutoff. What's the game plan here? Do you go for you go attacking for the win to make sure you secure a spot on the playoffs, or you go a bit cautious knowing you have that big, cushion to the points?
Think we're gonna try to do our best to try to get the win tonight. I think we got a pretty good piece between me, Greg, and all the others, and Miz and all them. We have a pretty good, decent setup. So I think we're gonna be pretty well set to try to attack and stay up front and try to see if we can get this win.
You sound confident, and I really like that. 37 thousandths off the leader right now. It's a really good pace. It is. Obviously, the race fuel loads are going to be different, and well, you have a good cushion. I'm pretty sure you know the difference. You can balance being aggressive and cautious. And Emerson told me a little bit earlier, you're quite a fan of road courses, aren't you?
Yeah, I could get it done on the road courses, so we're gonna try to make that happen. What is it, next week?
Exactly. Next week we're gonna have Charlotte Roval. So if things don't go all your way, I'm gonna be knocking on wood here to make sure it's not a commentator's curse. I'm pretty sure you're gonna make it work next week. How difficult is it to run a road course in these cars?
Trucks ain't too bad. I would say the hardest ones are the Xfinity car, somewhere along them lines. But trucks ain't too bad. You just gotta keep your wheel spin to a minimum and keep the momentum up. And that's what we'll definitely do at the Roval.
Well, I'm definitely going to take your word for it because I haven't raced anything other than GTs at that road course at the Charlotte Roval, and I'm pretty sure I cannot even drive these drift missiles that some people have told me. But yeah, who do you have to thank for your result getting this far in the playoffs?
Oh, man, you got to thank Greg and all that. Freaking Greg, Miz, Schroeder, freaking Garrett helps us out, freaking Stutzman. Who else we got? Freaking Joshua. And we all try to get these setups dialed in and put the laps in and try to make it happen.
Nice. I'm pretty sure they're happy as well with your result. I thank you for giving us your time, and I wish you the best of luck for this race.
All right. Appreciate it, guys.
Hope I can talk to you till the end. Have a good one.
Hopefully.
Well, Emerson, that was Cossie, 32 points above the cut line. He sounds happy. He sounds confident. Is that a recipe for success?
Absolutely. Confidence is going to go far in this league here. With the Outlaws Sim Series, we run a lot of green flag laps here. So, just kind of knowing what you're doing, kind of having that mindset going into the race is going to be huge. And maybe I'm jinxing it by saying that now a couple times tonight. But I'm not expecting that many yellows tonight. I'm really expecting a kind of clean and green affair. Last week, we had a crash on the opening lap in turn 3 that took out a few playoff drivers. That kind of set the playoffs on fire a little bit, but we didn't have a single caution after that. And then at Kansas, we had a caution on lap 2. That took out a couple playoff drivers as well. And then we didn't have a caution after that. So I'll be intrigued to see how this all plays out. But JP, we are now into qualifying. We're going to go ahead and catch up with some of these drivers. And how about this driver right here? This is going to be the 77 of Seth Berger, who is just coming off the pit lane. He is one of those drivers. He is a driver. He is last season's champion. I guess I should give him the proper introduction. Seth Berger is last season's champion, looking to go back-to-back this season. But again, last season we were in fixed setup Xfinity cars. Now we are in open setup trucks. So quite the challenge, but here comes Seth Berger to start his qualifying.
Yeah, exactly. It's quite a big difference between those two cars. And while he's going to be looking, obviously, to get a good qualifying lap, being 5th in the points right now, it's not ideal for him, only 6 points above the cut line. But as you mentioned, if he's the last season's champion, I'm pretty sure he can handle the pressure.
Absolutely. He's certainly going to try. And Seth Berger now working his way through turns 3 and 4. Tonight, these drivers are going for of course, every week we shout out the Pratt Tile and Stone Pole Award. Pratt Tile and Stone, serving all your tiling needs. serving Central Vermont since 2005. Brett, Tayo, and Stone, of course, our pole award sponsor. And Seth Berger goes on provisional pole for the moment. These drivers, they get 3 laps in qualifying. A lot of differences compared to, I guess, the real NASCAR series in real life, but a lot of the same, as well, a lot of similarities, but a lot of differences, and structurally, I'd say, in the series. So Seth Berger on his second lap will put that 77 second quickest behind teammate Max Service. Now we'll catch up with a couple other drivers. How about the driver in the number 5, Matthew Setzer here? He's kind of working the middle of 3 and 4. I think he's getting ready to start his qualifying, but he's riding a little higher there on his outlap.
Exactly. It looks like carrying a bit more speed through the middle lane, not getting the optimal racing line as we're used to. Gilliard goes fastest, 24 thousandths ahead of Service. So quite a close lap time. Berger only a 10th away from his teammates, so he has quite a bit of time to find yet on the track. Maybe warming up the tires, getting them up to pressure. But Setzer as well. Looks like Villalobos right now goes quickest. So quite a few drivers going quicker, even on their first lap. Looks like it.
Yeah, how about it, Julio Villalobos? I told you about Julio Villalobos running this series when we covered the Midwest Sim Racing Association, their truck series race. Goodness, what track were we at? Martinsville? Was that the one you covered?
Yes.
Yeah, I told you about that, and we also hit the Xfinity race as well. He ran the Xfinity race at the Roval. But yeah, here he is. This is Julio Villalobos. So kind of running a couple of series here on PitStop TV and trying to get his qualifying lap going here. Had a little trouble there. He kind of, actually, no, he went top of the charts. My apologies. What am I talking about? He reset. He's going to go at it again. Matthew Setzer, one of the playoff drivers, has just put it 6th quickest. And now we're going to get to the meat and potatoes here. We got, how about it, Joseph Kazi. He was the winningest driver this season before Greg Holt came and stole the show the last 2 weeks. Joseph Kazi looking to reclaim that crown at the top of the standings.
Exactly. He's only 1 win away, so really close between those two. But, you know, how confident he was, I'm pretty sure he's going to do. Looks like the first lap won't be as good. He goes safe, half a second away, so probably just getting up to speed for the second fast lap.
Oh, Seth Fitzpatrick in the 2 truck. That's another playoff driver. He just went 2nd quickest by 2/1000ths of a second. We will check in on Seth Fitzpatrick after this lap from Joseph Kazi. Actually, Seth Fitzpatrick has just reset, so he's probably going to retry it. But Julio Villalobos goes even faster.
He goes 15 thousandths of a second faster. Does Kazi improve?
Yes,
he does. Look at it.
Wow,
What a
wow.
fantastic lap. Nearly putting a 10th of a second on the rest of the field.
Phenomenal stuff. We're going to catch up here with the 65 of Kyle Lingerfeld, another one of the drivers looking to get a good playoff run. He got into a crash last week at Kentucky, but he was able to scrape by into the next round of the playoffs. And that beautiful Raging Cajun number 65 Silverado now working his way down the back straightaway. Again, this end of the Speedway nearly wide open, if not wide open. All your time is made up in 1 and 2. You're just kind of keeping that time through the rest of the track.
Just really have to nail those sectors. Actually, those first 2 corners looks like he goes half a second behind the leader, which is going to put him, looks like, in 10th place. So not a great first flying lap, I'd say, for him. A lot of time to improve. Half a second is quite a lot on ovals. So let's see if he has anything for this 3rd lap.
Yeah, he is on his 3rd lap here. Ben Park has just gone 7th quickest. Lingerfeld on his 3rd and final lap to the line will go. He will go 6th quickest. So an improvement. He does improve past a playoff driver, which is also important to note. But he is up there in 6th. We got a couple more drivers to go. Or well, actually, a few more drivers to go. How about this driver? This is Brad Bothwell. I'll give you a quick introduction here, JP. This guy has 7 poles this season. Nobody else, I can't recall, has more than 1 pole. This guy has 7.
Well, looks like we do have Mr. Saturday, as I like to call.
Here we go.
Does he save it?
No.
Oh, almost. So he's Mr. Saturday whenever we don't have a race weekend.
But he does have 3 laps, so he's able to reset and go at it again, and no harm, no foul. He's got time as well. While he gets up to speed again, we'll catch up with a couple of our playoff drivers. Jeremiah Stutzman He is the driver third in the playoff standings, and he's slowly, and I say slowly because he wasn't at the beginning of the season. He kind of got to a slow start in the regular season. But Jeremiah Stutzman is starting to become that third driver in that championship mix. He's starting to creep up there to Kazi and Holt, and he's going to go sideways in one. He's going to loop it around. Oh, and he will hit the wall.
Almost as well. So it looks like another driver finding it turns 1 and 2 quite difficult. Maybe it's the setup. Obviously, as you mentioned, open setup. The car could be a lot loose on qualifying, obviously making it as light as possible. So some drivers quite struggling with that.
Yeah, it is tough, and it's not. I mean, we talked about it already. The track in 1 and 2, that's where all your time is made. So you're going to be pushing a little bit harder just naturally as well. And Tyler Markle right there, this is his second lap he was on, or he's on his third lap right now. 12th quickest. Looking to improve upon that. We will see how he does. Looks like Brad Boffel puts it 8th quickest, waiting for his next lap. Seth Fitzpatrick up the third, looking to improve upon his lap.
We're going to take a look at the 42. Can improve his lap time. Currently 0.5 of a second off away from the pole. Ran out 3.7. So that's going to shoot him up to 10th place. It looks like that's going to be it for the 42.
Brad Bothwell to the line. Is this pole number 8? Brad Bothwell will put it 6th quickest, actually.
Yeah, quite a bit away from pole. 0.2 of a second. So maybe something was not right. Maybe that spin just hurt his confidence a little bit, applying more pressure. Something has happened. Stutzman, he goes 1 second away, so probably lining up for his last lap, essentially.
Yep, Greg Holt will put it 5th quickest after his final lap, so Holt will not improve past 5th. This is intriguing. But just double checking, yes. Brad Bothwell has 7 poles, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 drivers with 1 pole. That is the stats this season. And Jeremiah Stutzman on his second lap goes 4th quickest, but to no avail. We still have a minute left for anybody to try to take on Joseph Kazi. But I think for the second time this season, nobody else. Well, I'll wait a few seconds, see if anybody else is going to enter the racetrack. But what I just said about nobody else having more than 1 pole other than Brad Bothwell, I think it's too late now for anybody to go out there. So I will say it is official. Brad Bothwell is no longer the only driver of multiple poles, because Joseph Kazi has secured the Pratt Tile and Stone Pole Award. Pratt Tile and Stone, serving Central Vermont since 2005, serving all of their tiling needs. Joseph Kazi with his second Pratt Tile and Stone Pole Award on the season. And crazy. I guess a little bit of, quote, history made on this far into the season.
Yeah, exactly. That's really good, putting it, and with a big gap as well. Getting a pole this late in the season, obviously the first round of the new playoffs, and with a big gap, that's going to boost his confidence even higher.
Absolutely. And, well, here we go. I think it is time. We should go ahead and get into our starting lineup for tonight's 150-lap race here in virtual No Limits, Texas. And we'll get right off to it. On the front row, it'll be the 88 of Joseph Kazi, and to his outside, it'll be the Mexican Julio Villalobos. Row number 2, it'll be Seth Fitzpatrick in the 2, Jeremiah Stutzman in the 71. A couple playoff drivers looking to keep themselves up there and afloat in the playoff standings. Row number 3, James Gilliard, what could have been if he made it to this round of playoffs. Greg Holt will start to his outside there in 6th. Row number 4. Oh, go for it.
Oh, sorry. Row number 4, we're going to have Max Service in the number 81 and the number 31 of Brad Bothwell in 8th place on the outside. I do apologize, Emerson. Okay. Kyle Lingerfeld in the number 65 is going to be lining up in 9th place. In 10th place, Seth Berger on the number 77. In row number 6, we're going to have Benjamin Park in the number 23 and the number 42 of Tyler Markell in 12th place. And row number 7, we are going to have... looks like I'm not quite sure. Oh, there we go. Jesse Adams in the number 55 and the number 5 on Matthew Setzer. Now I'm going to give it right back to you, Emerson.
That's A-okay. We find our way back to row number 8. It'll be the 95 of Devin Smith, the 27 of Joshua Gaffright. Row number 9, the 24, Jason Miss. The 69, John Mickey. And in row number 10, it'll be the 48 of Garrett Velsey, the 47 of Andrew Schroeder.
In 21st place, we're going to have Andrew Pratt in the number 75 and the number 63 of Randall Barnett in 22nd place. 23rd place, we're going to have Joshua Fox in number 66 and the number 96 of Matt Rogers on his outside. In 25th place, we're going to have Andrew Coer. The number 12, I'm not pretty sure how to pronounce that name, but the number 25 of Eric Pack is going to be lining up in 26th place. In 27th, we're going to have Doug Solms in number 67. That's our starting grid for tonight's race.
Yes, it is. And, well, that is going to be the starting grid as these drivers get off on their formation lap. And there they go. The field of 27 trucks. Honestly, it's a relatively smaller field than what we're used to here in the Outlaws Sim Series. So that's intriguing to say the least, but here we go. We are having a little bit of trouble with the paint schemes. We're going to get those loaded up as soon as we can, but Joseph Cosby on the pole, Julio Villalobos to his outside, and we will get those paint schemes updated as soon as possible. But until then, a lot of the paint schemes are up, but not all of them, and just wanted to give that proper, I guess, acknowledgement there. We'll take a look at the weather coming into tonight. The lights are on. It is... Well, it is cold here. We are in now November in Fort Worth, Texas. I know it's Texas, and I know it's in the south, but up north in Texas, it still gets relatively cool. 65 degrees the air temp, 67 degrees the track temp. Winds nearly 8 miles per hour out of the southeast here in virtual Fort Worth, Texas. And here we go. The field again, 13.5 rows deep of NASCAR Gander outdoor trucks. Open setups at that. Getting ready to unleash the horses underneath these engines. Again, lower horsepower to those in the Xfinity and in the Cup Series vehicles. But as you said, less grip makes these vehicles harder to drive as well. VIRacing.com safety vehicle will make that left-hand turn into the safety of pit lane. And we're racing from the Lone Star State. Oh, Julio Villalobos sideways on the back straightaway. Everybody scatters. Will they be able to hold on?
How on earth did he save that race car? I saw him going sideways on the previous camera shot, and somehow he has all 4 wheels pointing in the right direction and looks like no damage.
Looks like everybody will make it through relatively well. And yeah, we carry on here in Texas. And Julio Villalobos, though, that's got to hurt. He started second. He's back here now in the 12th position. Oh! That's Greg Holtzlow on the bottom side of the racetrack.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a wreck in the back. Oh, no.
We have a big crash. I saw some names just essentially dropping off of the point sticker, and it looks like we're going to have a forced caution on lap number 2.
And that was huge. There is a lot going on. We have a lot to unpack, and we're going to try to figure all of that out here in a second. Have a lot going on here. Try to get this done correctly. Oh no, and there went the engine on the 96. His day is effectively over, and that's unfortunate.
That's going to be a fortunate race ending on lap 2. That's going to be heartbreaking for the number 96. And we're going to have to take a look at what happened since lap 1, starting off that massive drift from Villalobos.
All right, so here we go. Like we have it queued up here. Here is the green flag, and we're going to be able to pick out here Julio Villalobos and what happens to Villalobos. So they're going to watch this whole replay because we got a whole lot going on here. But this is Julio Villalobos off of turn 2. He just gets sideways on him, a little loose. What a catch! Right into the heart of the field. Oh my goodness.
How on earth did he save that? He got loose all by himself, but I mean, I don't know how. That was just a massive drift.
So now this is the next lap. This is lap 2. Greg Holt, again, the driver came in today's race 35 points above the cut line. A great margin. He just gets sideways. Gillier gets sideways in front of him too. And on the bottom side of the racetrack, look, everybody survives. And then what went on? Oh no, the 24. Oh my goodness.
Oh. Oh, that's a massive crash.
Jason Miz. Big impact on the bottom side of the racetrack.
Big, I think it's an understatement. That was a massive hit.
Yeah, that was. I don't really know what went on there for Jason. We're gonna try to figure this out. Here we go. This is once again the start of lap number 2 with Jason Miz. He's behind Benjamin Park there in the 23. He goes a little high, so there's a little less grip up there. He's out of the groove. He gets a little sideways at that, and he hits the inside wall. He's trying to hold on to it in a 96, just nowhere to go. Right on top of the 27 truck of Joshua Gaffrite. That 27 truck had a truck on top of him.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate for him. He just got loose by himself, and unfortunately, the safer barrier just essentially propelled him back on the racetrack. And I mean, the number 96 was just at the wrong place at the wrong time on the racetrack.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. That is what went on there. Looks like everybody will carry on relatively well, and we will be able to re-rack him and re-sack him. I guess fortunate enough for the sake of the field, the playoff drivers playoff drivers were not in fact impacted in that incident too much. Greg Holt, I guess, was the notable playoff driver who suffered any lost positions, but he was able to hold on to his truck, but he's back in 14th.
Yeah, exactly. That save, I'm pretty sure he's not going to be complaining about losing too many positions. I mean, his truck is intact. Somehow he mirrored the action of the number 33 who got lost right in front of him, so
That's
I'm not
crazy.
pretty sure. Yeah, I'm not pretty sure what happened, but both of them went in tandem, and not a single one of them got any damage, so they're quite further behind on the pack than I'm pretty sure they would like, but I mean, it's going to make the race a bit more interesting seeing those guys fight back.
Absolutely. We saw the speed out of Gilliard and Holt. Well, we know Holt's fast. He's won 4 races this season, but we saw the speed out of Gilliard in practice as well. So that'll be intriguing. But yeah, as you said, they both spun in tandem. And my assumption, my guess, is what happened there, along with the 71, is... well, first, I should say, the 3 of Greg Holt, the 71 of Jeremiah Stutzman, and the 88 of Joseph Causey. They're on the same setup. But you saw the 3 and the 71 both get sideways there. And my assumption is we're at nighttime. The track is cold. I mean, 67 degrees Fahrenheit, that is a cold track temp for most drivers, or for most tracks. But it is cold. And right now, I forgot to even mention, we have the lane choice going on right now, so drivers are able to pick which lane to get the restart in here. We'll catch the tail end there. It's been a little bit since we've been able to catch the lane choice. But my assumption, anyway, for that incident, I think for all of those drivers, is that the track is just too cold, and their tires did not get any heat in them yet.
It could be 100%, and obviously on turns 1 and 2, lifting obviously may not even be turns 3 and 4. You might not make it flat as well, but you know, lifting and maybe braking and getting back on the power might have just spun them a little bit. We saw 3 drivers essentially doing that, 4 if you count Villalobos as well. So
Right.
you know, it's early on in the race. Obviously, as you mentioned, they didn't get a lot of laps to heat up those tires, so it could be 100% temperature, and we're just gonna have to wait and see if it happens again on the restart.
So fortunate enough for the playoff drivers that there was no, I guess, any playoff casualties, except something happened to Brad Bothwell. He did not take the green flag. So maybe he was not able to race tonight. Maybe he only qualified to get the points, but Brad Bothwell did not start this race. And out of this race right now is Jason Miz and Matt Rogers, but the iRacing.com safety car will pull into the left lane there and pull into the safety pit lane and hand the field off to the 88 of Joseph Causey once again. We'll try this again. We're green from the Lone Star State. Oh, we got a wreck in the back. It's Joshua Gaffrey going round. Looks like everybody else will scatter to avoid. But Joshua Gaffrey is slow on the speedway there in 1.
But no caution.
Don't see a caution yet. There is a caution now. So race control has called the caution, and the drivers are slowing down. Then they will throw the iRacing caution, just to kind of keep everybody queued up relatively well. But yeah, so there wasn't a caution initially, but I guess Gaffrey decided to radio over to race control and thought that was worthy of a yellow. So we'll go ahead and take a replay, and let's see what happened. And now the caution is officially out on iRacing. So here you go. He's at the back of the field already, and remember, he had a truck on top of him at the start of this. Let's see what happens here. The green flag is out on this replay. He gets going. Tyler Markle looks this inside. Oh.
Oh, the 42 just got a better start, and they came together.
I guess Gaffright was kind of looking forward because there wasn't too many trucks behind him. And
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't
Just
really
came
notice.
back on the racing line. Yeah, 100%.
Hey, I think the 42 saw the lane, but Gaffright didn't, I guess, notice the 42. I think that's essentially what happened.
Unfortunately for him, but looks like not quite a lot of damage. Maybe just a tiny bit on that left rear quarter panel, essentially. Only time will tell, but looks like the front end has a bit of damage, actually.
We're gonna try this one more time, and we're gonna watch from the in-car of Tyler Markle to see what he saw on this replay. And here we go. Waiting for it. There's the green. People got loose up there as well. He went to the inside, and just a little miscommunication, I think. It's unfortunate that happened because they were at the back of the field, and I know they didn't want to cause a caution at the back, but that's unfortunately what happened there. Tyler Markle is a playoff driver. Gaffright isn't, for what that's worth, but I don't know. I mean, I think in Markle's eyes, he saw he was getting the lane, and Gaffright didn't think he was giving up a lane, and that's kind of what happened there.
Yeah, yeah, it was just a bit of miscommunication. Unfortunately for both, as you mentioned. Luckily for them, since they were in the back of the grid, not a lot of positions to lose, and they can just essentially restart. Maybe a bit of damage to both of them. We'll see how that affects their race cars throughout the race. But it's still only lap 10, and well, the restarts are getting quite interesting, aren't they?
Absolutely. And one driver they are getting interesting for is the driver of the number 77. I want to bring up this driver, last season's champion, Seth Berger. Welcome back up to the booth, driver. Up here in the second position, Seth. Restarts, they've been a little hairy because of these cold tires, but what say you?
Yeah, this truck is also very sketchy, but I guess just being at the right place at the right time, I went from 10th to 2nd now, 10 laps in, so that's looking good. The start of this race is looking good. Really want some green flag runs. I'm not one for, I'm not a fan of restarts, honestly. I like being in my zone, turning my own laps, but yeah, doing good. We'll see what the truck really has once we get a green flag run here, and curious to see what the fuel situation is, but yeah, glad I'm running good with this throwback paint scheme to the championship last year.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say, that scheme looked a little familiar. We noticed it really last week. What came to mind for you to run the scheme you ran in the season finale last year?
Just needed to make the orange numbers and orange rims look good, man, and this was a beautiful car that I made for the championship, and might as well just start running it, man.
Fair enough. It was a beautiful livery that did end up taking the title last season at the Kansas Speedway. So you're in the playoffs, obviously. Fifth in the points coming into tonight's race, 6 above the cut line. I guess before you got it to second, what was the game plan coming into tonight after qualifying to kind of keep yourself in it and not get involved in some of these early accidents?
Fortunately, you come up with the game plan after qualifying. The game plan is to qualify up front, and I was not able to do that, but qualified far enough up front. Well, even though the wrecks happened in front of me, I wasn't far up enough. But yeah, the game plan was really just to stay out of trouble, and luckily I've been completely clean and gained a lot of track position through it. So it's just keep the truck clean and try to get these stage points and get a decent finish and set me up well for next week.
So one more before we let you go here. You said, talking about stage points and stay up here in second, what is the long run pace of this truck? Do you really know? Is there any benchmark for you to really gauge it, or are you kind of learning as we go here?
Learning as we go. The handling goes away from it a little bit. We'll find out how bad that really is, and how it compares to other people, because that's what I do most weeks, man. It's hard to tell how good your truck is on the long run. Like Kansas, for example, I thought it was good on the long run, and had to have been the worst truck I've ever driven for a long run. So we'll see here.
Right on. Well, y'all have made your choices. You elect the outside lane again. We're going to leave you to it, driver. But before we do, we get forward to a shout out. Who got a shout out? Thank you. Ever get a thank?
Thanks, Burger Nation, for supporting me, man.
Right on. Well, that is driver of the number 77, last season's champion, trying to go back-to-back in Outlaws Sim Series competition on the seasons. He's got his teammate Max Service right behind him for this restart, and they're going against pretty much their biggest threat to making the championship for this season. Both Seth Berger and Max Service made it last season, but Joseph Kazi really looking strong to make it this season.
Yeah, exactly. Some drivers are looking really strong, but this start for the number 77, I mean, as he mentioned, starting 10th place already up to 2nd. It's exactly what he needs in this time of the playoffs. Yes, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's going to be shooting up for that 1st place.
And this track, it's so hard to pass once we get green and once everybody gets single file. It's so hard to pass. You can only pass in turn 1. You can't really pass in 3 and 4 because everybody's going wide open. So the fact that he made up 8 spots on restart is phenomenal. The iRacing.com safety vehicle will find its safety in the pit lane. And we are racing from No Limits, Texas. Looks like a clean start so far. Seth Berger under heavy attack from Seth Fitzpatrick. And Max Service there in 4th. They're trying to tail up to Joseph Kazi. And how about Julio Villalobos up to 5th after starting 2nd and falling back to 12th?
Exactly, a perfect start for him, a perfect restart, I should say. You know, after that massive scare for him, the number 45 driver looking really quick. It looks like he's looking really racy. As the drivers ahead of him, looks like Service is going to be looking down the inside of Fitzpatrick. Can he get the move done on the exit? His car is wobbling a little bit. And if those two keep battling, well, Villalobos is going to be right there to capitalize on it.
Right, and I'm going to be intrigued to see how this goes. How about Seth Berger going fastest? Now Julio Villalobos goes significantly faster. Fitzpatrick trying to get to the bottom of the track there. He hits the apron a little bit, and Villalobos is getting ready to set up Max Service. Now this is intriguing. Villalobos is not in the playoffs. The 4 drivers ahead of him and the driver directly behind him, they are in the playoffs. So he's surrounded by 5 playoff trucks. What will he do?
Yeah, exactly. This is going to be interesting because obviously he has absolutely nothing to lose. But obviously he has to take in mind that those drivers are fighting for the championship. But that shouldn't hold him as well for going for the absolute win.
Absolutely. And somebody else who's going for the win is Greg Holt there, the 6th truck in line in that Lego truck. He ran the fastest lap there last time round, and Greg Holt trying to stick with this group. He knows if he's going to have a chance to win this race, he's got to stay up here. And I don't want to say stay in the lead pack, but essentially that's what it is. I don't want to say it's a pack race, but essentially this is similar. Most of these races in these trucks at the ovals, even the mile and a halves, they are pretty much draft races. You have to stay in the draft to really have a significant chance.
Yeah, 100%. You know, being in, I guess, a speedway, that's really gonna help out. And eventually, once you start to drop off, that was
close.
Quite, yeah, they got really close. That was I guess, a brave move by the number 2, and that's gonna set up the number 45.
Villalobos trying to look maybe to the outside of Max Service. Now maybe back down to the inside. We'll ride now from the rear end here of Max Service and see how he fends off a hard-charging Julio Villalobos.
He's going to have to defend really well because the number 45 looks like he has the pace early on in the stint. But obviously, Villalobos cannot really just focus ahead. He has, obviously, Holt right behind him. And, well, he needs to be careful. Look at it.
And Greg Holt got to his inside. Now they're going to be side by side into turn 1. And we'll watch still from the back end here, Max Service's truck. Greg Holt will power to the inside. He's going to slide up the track, though. And Villalobos will get the grip on the outside. 2 Toyota Tundras going at it side by side down the back.
They're still going to be going side by side as they enter turns 3 and 4. Who is going to come out on top? Looks like Villalobos getting quite loose a little bit. That's going to allow the number 3 of just shooting ahead, getting the inside line. But the 45 looks like he's just about cleared him.
And Greg Holt does clear Julio Villalobos to make that 5 playoff trucks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And Seth Berger trying to go for the race lead around the outside.
Almost made it work. Looks like Cause is still going to be holding the inside line. The number 2 is going to be slotting right between those two. But the number 77, does he get a good run out of 4? Looks like he might. But the number 2 has all got an excellent run.
This is tough. Seth Berger might get freight trained here, and Seth Fitzpatrick is going to try to take that 2 truck in the P2 right now. Max Service now trying to join his teammate on the high side, Greg Holt, and now we got a pack up here. Kazi, it's almost like Talladega. You got to block both lanes.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like they're going to be defending left, right, instead. There's the number 3 as well as making
the
moves.
Seths nearly get together.
Oh, nearly. The number 77 gets cleanly, and the number 2 is going to be losing position. Look at the number 3 Holt making 2 positions in 1 lap. That's a lap right there.
Greg Holt, again, one of the dominant drivers on the season. He had the most laps led on this season. He does have the most laps led on the season right now, and looking to try to get back up there and keep leading laps. But he's got to get through now. Last season's champion is Seth Berger, and for a good portion of the season, Joseph Kazi, who's Greg Holt's real only other competition at the top of the point standings. I also want to welcome Devin Smith into the lead pack in that number 95 truck, who just joined the lead pack there in that, I guess, chrome orange Silverado right there.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of people are joining. It looks like we do have 7 cars on the lead pack. This is going to be fantastic for races. Villalobos is looking down the inside into 3 and 4. Will the number 95 hold it? Oh, looks like they're going to be really close, but looks like they're going to be holding position. As further ahead, the number 3 Holt still making moves in that beautiful, I might say, Lego race car.
The Lego machine, the Lego Maego machine. Greg Holt trying to power up the inside of Seth Berger. Will he be able to get the pass done? We look back for Max Service, and he did get clear there of Seth Berger. Now looking for Max Service's point of view there. Looking on at the battle scene. If Seth Berger has anything for Greg Holt, looks like they'll stay in the line here. And now Greg has gone up to second, but it's his teammate ahead. How aggressive will he be? I don't imagine he will be very aggressive. But he does want to keep himself in this mix. Now, for those who watch weekly, you may remember Greg Holt and Joseph Kazi in the regular season. They made a little bit of contact at Charlotte while going for the race lead. Their teammate Jason Miss got past them. That didn't go over very well for Greg Holt. Greg was not happy that him and his teammate Joseph Kazi made contact at Charlotte while battling for the lead. He even took a few weeks off to regroup. He was locked into the playoffs, but he took a couple weeks off to regroup and reset himself to go for this playoff run. And then he came back refreshed, and he dominated the first 2 races of the playoffs. So Greg Holt, now he's going to have to go at it with Joseph Kazi, maybe toe-to-toe for a while like he had to do at Charlotte. We'll see if that translates into something.
Yeah, 100%. They're going to have to be careful. Obviously, they have a big points advantage to the playoffs, but they still cannot afford. And I was going to mention, Greg Holt, to first fight with his teammate, he really has to close up, but just on the exit of turns 3 and 4, he gained nearly a tenth of a second. He already lost that, so the gap is still 4.5 tenths, but those 2 are absolutely gapping the field behind him.
Absolutely. Right now, we're watching the gap from Kazi to Holt, and then you see the train of trucks behind him. 7 trucks lined up from Seth Berger to James Gilliard. There in that line, a little further on back, Andrew Pratt rounds out the top 10. But right now, Joseph Kazi trying to hang on here as Greg Holt closes little by little, gained about a tenth there. Now down the back straightaway, Kazi will open it back up, but Holt gains into turns. Whoa, nearly 3 wide in the back. We'll try to catch up with that right here. And that was Devin Smith, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people going side by side, so really racing. Devin Smith making big inroads. He's leaving Villalobos behind. They were battling once for position. Look at the gap they have now. 3 car difference between those 2, and the number 95 is already in the top 5.
And you know what I've completely forgot to take into account here is the stage is coming to a close at the end of the next lap. So you want to sort yourself out and get as many points as you can, especially if you're a playoff driver, because at the end of lap 30, the top 10 will get stage points. Here goes the Seths battling again. Seth Berger up high, Seth Fitzpatrick down low, Fitzpatrick a little loose. 1 lap to go in stage 1.
This could be a big stage for some of those drivers, as you mentioned, that were fighting for the playoffs. Fitzpatrick is going to be really good. He's going to be bagging in some points, but, well, he's in 4th place right now. It looks like he's still going to be battling. Berger as well, battling with him, so this could be interesting between those two.
Max Service now has to battle James Gilliard for a point. Gilliard looking to take that point away from Max. They go side by side through 3 and 4. Max does get cleared by Gilliard, so Max falls back to 7th, and that is the end of the stage. Joseph Kazi will win stage 1, but will he hang on for stage 2 now? Because he has a dwindling advantage over Greg Holt. Holt is closing lap by lap, and remember, no caution, so we continue racing. It's a straight up race from here to lap 68 now.
Yeah, looks like he has a charging Lego car right in his mirror, already closing up 0.2 of a second. So the number 3 is really flying. The number 88 might not be fully confident in his car. Look at the gap. It's essentially going down by each second. It's already less than 0.2 of a second. So looks like number 88 might be struggling a little bit of tires, maybe saving. I'm not quite sure, but, well, that gap is going down.
Battle real quick here between Lingerfelt and Max Service. Max Service is dropping down to running order. He needs to save those tires fast. He might consider short pitting before the end of stage 2 to try to go for the race win, or I guess get as many spots as he can for the race at the end of the race rather than stage 2. Here comes Stutzman trying to peek to the inside of Max Service. I just got the confirmation from Race Control on the stage 1 results, as Devin Smith is now looking to pass Seth Fitzpatrick. They're going at it. We'll read the stage results in a second here because we got a lot of battles going on. Fitzpatrick trying to hold off Devin Smith.
Those two are going side by side. Looks like we do have a battle further behind as well, but the number 95 is looking really racy. The Fitzpatrick losing touch a little bit of Berger. And look at the 33. He might be closing it quite fast to those two. So a lot of things actually getting mixed up really quickly on this field. As soon as you go for a position and don't make it stick, you're going to be losing quite a bit of time.
Absolutely. Looks like a lot of these moves are starting to get, I guess, pieced together here. Gilliard nearly makes contact with Devin Smith. Here comes James Gilliard in that Jack Daniels number 33 Silverado, the black and white truck on the bottom lane. Devin Smith up on the outside. That wooden, I guess, orangey chrome truck on the outside. He holds on to 5th for now. And the battle's further on back. Max Service trying to hang on for what he's got. He's got Stutzman going past. Now Villalobos trying to regain some spots here.
So a lot of drivers struggling already, looks like, with grip. Some drivers taking different lanes. It looks like Service is struggling quite a bit. He's not going to be defending for the number 45. And it looks like it's just going to be a matter of time, as it looks like we have another car joining the battle. I'm not quite sure who that is behind the number 45. It looks like Pratt.
Yep.
So quite a few drivers essentially. Look at it. Service losing quite a bit of time. So I'm not quite sure what is it. If it's he's purposely saving or he's just struggling with grip.
He may be struggling for grip. Some of these drivers that are coming through the field, like the 95 of Devin Smith, the 33 James Gilliard. I will check right now. James Gilliard, he has pitted 4 tires in this race on one of those cautions. Greg Holt has pitted. Jeremiah Stutzman and Andrew Pratt, they have pitted. Everybody else up here in the top 10, they have not pitted. So that is something to count as well. The drivers who did and who did not pit. Real quick, I'm going to go through the confirmed stage 1 results from Race Control. Joseph Kazi wins the stage. Greg Holt 2nd. Seth Berger 3rd. Seth Fitzpatrick 4th. Devin Smith 5th. James Gilliard 6th. Max Service 7th. Kyle Lingerfelt 8th. Julio Villalobos 9th. And Jeremiah Stutzman rounds out the top 10. And stage 2 will be scored at the end of lap 68. And we're seeing the grab bag right here. The driver's on fresh tires, the driver's on old tires. Gilliard has fresher tires here by about only 4 laps. He put on that first caution. But they still, 4 laps, you'll see the difference right about here.
Exactly, might not sound a lot, but even a little bit newer rubber, it's really going to help you out. And, well, looks like it's helping him out. Number 33 making quite a few moves. Oh, and he's going to get past the 2 right here on the outside lane.
He's gonna try. He got very tight there, or not tight, but he got close to the rear end there of the 2 truck of Fitzpatrick. Now looking to go around the outside. And look at Causey and Holt. They are gone. But Causey's still ahead of Holt. And actually Causey opened up the advantage a little bit. It stayed at 3/10 that time around. James Gilliard will pass Seth Fitzpatrick. And now the 95 of Devin Smith will pass Seth Fitzpatrick as well. Fitzpatrick did not pit. And he's just trying to hang on here.
Yeah, exactly. He lost 2 positions in 1 lap. Not great for him. And the number 95 and the number 33 is still going. It looks like in tandem, essentially overtaking one car after the other. Their next target looks like it's going to be Berger for 3rd place. So we're going to have to see if both of them can go together.
Now this is intriguing. Devin did not pit either, but he looks like he has saved a lot of tire early on here. So he might go for James Gilliard here, and he has not pitted the 95.
Yeah, 100%. He looks really racy. I'm not pretty sure if his setup is just a little bit better on tires, but I mean, he's hanging on to the number 33 and not letting him go. Looks like he may even be a bit quicker.
You see here, there's Devin Smith trying to size up James Gilliard right behind him. And I've said this a few times, especially most of the people who watch the Outlaws Sim Series, they know. But since you're new to the series, and anybody else who's new watching, I think I should kind of give a little bit of history. This is a series. Oh, well, maybe in a moment here, because Smith nearly got to the rear end there of James Gilliard. It looks like he'll have to try again in the turn 1 next time around. But really quick, this league ran since like 2014, 2015, back on consoles, on the PS3 and the PS4, on those NASCAR games. Then we transitioned over to iRacing. I used to broadcast them back on the consoles on NASCAR Heat 2 and Heat 3. Trying to see what Devin Smith does here. He can't make the pass yet. He's trying to, though, Devin Smith. We came over to iRacing, and last year we ran an Xfinity Series season as the first season for this league on iRacing. But a lot of these guys know each other because they used to race on the PS4 together. So a lot of these drivers in this league, they all know each other. They've known each other for years. So I think that's an interesting dynamic, is that a lot of these guys, they are friends. Now there's some new ones. Greg Holt, I don't think raced with us on the console. But I know Causey, Berger, Gilliard, Smith, Lingerfelt, Stutzman, they all raced on the console. And there's a lot more throughout the field as well that raced back with us on console. So it's a nice little mix, but a lot of this group, they've been friends. I've been friends with them for a long time.
Yeah, this is a really interesting take because obviously you being friends is going to help you out and it's going to make the racing a little bit more fun. Looks like number 95 might get him past finally the number 33, so it's going to be interesting to see the pace that he has. But obviously the downside is you learn how the people race, so you're going to be taking a look at individual drivers and knowing how they'll attack each corner, how they'll defend, their driving style. So you may prepare yourself differently to one of them. It looks like the number 33 might be going down the inside of the number 95. Yeah. Oh, they nearly go to the middle lane.
That was high up the racetrack. Kyle Lingerfelt, he is showing up, and he has not pitted either. So Lingerfelt, Devin Smith, they've been very good on their tires without pitting. And it's starting to show here. Lingerfelt trying to see if he can get into the top 5 here and kind of rival some of the front runners. And remember, I say remember, I really haven't said it really yet. The fuel loads on these trucks, they're close to 50 laps, but they're not exactly. Then you have to think about the 2 caution periods that probably helped a few laps. So we are going to see pit stops before the end of stage 2. But is anybody able to save and maybe make it to that end of stage 2 at lap 68?
You're going to have to take a look at who's saving, but Emerson, I was just taking a look at the timing sheets. Look at the gap between first and second.
Oh my goodness.
Causey's absolutely gone.
And I didn't want to cut away from that because there's a lot of trucks right here. Passing the lap truck there of Gaffrey. Oh, near contact. Lingerfelt hits the apron, trying to hold on to that 65. Looks like they carry on, but Lingerfelt's loose. They have to keep racing through the quad oval. But to your note there, JP, yeah, we haven't really kept tabs on that battle because they got close, but they didn't really get too close, and the Joseph drove away. And I have to say, that's probably from Greg Holt having to race through all the trucks and wearing out his tires a little bit, while Joseph, he's been leading the whole time. He has not had any dirty air. He's not been tight. He's just been able to baby his tires and keep his tires happy.
Yeah, 100%. That may have been due to traffic, and well, now the gap is just keeps on increasing, and those newer tires are, well, just helping him out a ton. And the gap is going to keep on building. Looks like we're already 1.5, nearly 1.6 seconds. But, you know, those two are quite gone, but the battle between these two right here is definitely not gone at all. The number 33 still trying to hold on that position, still trying to get past Lingerfeld, but looks like he may not have the pace right now.
Intriguing to say the least. Lingerfeld, who has not pitted over James Gilliard, who did pit. Lingerfeld starting to pull away, and we now turn our eyes a little bit forward. Devin Smith trying to pass last season's champion Seth Berger for the third position, the last spot on the podium. They're going side by side into turn 3.
They're still going to be side by side. We're going to have to see who's going to come out on top. Is it going to be Berger? Is it going to be Smith? Looks like number 77 gets the edge. Can he close the door? Yes, he can. So he's going to be safe, at least from this lap. But the number 95 looking really racy right now.
Yeah, Devin Smith wanting to go forward, really wanting to take, excuse me, take that truck forward and give himself a chance. If a caution falls the right way or the strategy goes his way, give himself a chance to maybe go up there and fight with Holt and Causey. But right now, Holt and they're gone by 4 seconds over everybody else.
I mean, yeah, those two are definitely gone. I mean, 4 seconds, that's a decent gap in road racing, but I mean, when you talk about oval, that seems almost like an entire country mile.
I mean, look at that. They're the only two in frame there, and Joseph has nearly 2 seconds on Holt. I mean, this is crazy. But we continue on, and again, that stage break, not break, but stage end at the end of 68 is approaching. These drivers making pit stops, that is approaching. It's all about when. And Devin Smith, something amiss with Devin Smith. He might have hit the wall. He's very slow on the high side.
Oh, that's going to be heartbreaking if it is. Looks like he has a bit of damage on that front right. Looks like it's not completely flat. So if he did hit the wall, that's going to be causing huge damage. As you can see, he's just dropping off the pace.
Dropping down the running order, dropping off the pace. There's a lot going amiss here for the 95 of Devin Smith. And while we're here, let's go ahead and see if we can grab a replay and see what had happened to the 95. So here we go. This is back with Seth Berger. This is a couple laps ago. Devin Smith trying to find his way around the 77. And Devin Smith has not pitted, neither Seth. But Devin had to run through the corner. Oh, Seth got a little sideways. He tried to avoid him, and oh no, he just tried to avoid him, but he hit the wall.
And that was a big hit. That was not a small hit at all. Now, will he bring it down pit lane to get that fixed, or just a tiny bit fixed? Because if things continue the way they are, he's going to be losing quite a bit of pace really quickly.
Well, I'll say this. The pit lane is busy. There's a lot of trucks on pit lane right now. Seth Berger, Joseph Causey, Julio Villalobos, Seth Fitzpatrick, Kyle Lingerfeld, Devin Smith, and more. And still out there now, Max Service is coming down the pit lane right now in the 81 truck. Everybody just all of a sudden decided to come down the pit lane.
That's going to make things a lot busier. Looks like it's going to be shaking up things a little. We're going to have to see who saved a bit more fuel. Looks like Holt is not in yet, so is he 2 laps out already?
Well, here comes Greg Holt right now. Yeah, that was 2 laps longer than Joseph Causey. We're going to bring up our pit timer here. We'll get to see the entire trip down the pit lane for Greg Holt, and we'll compare it to Joseph Causey's trip down the pit lane. James Gilliard has taken the lead over Andrew Pratt. Now Tyler Markle has stayed out. Benjamin Park, Joshua Landfox, Jesse Adams, Andrew St. Cour, Doug Solms, and Matthew Setzer have all stayed out thus far. Jeremiah Stutzman there in the pit lane as well. There's Greg Holt. Here comes Joseph Causey. He's coming through turns 3 and 4 right now. Joseph has been on the pit lane. Oh, was that a stop truck there on pit exit. That's intriguing. But Greg Holt is down and away. 39 seconds. Kazi is already passed. There he is. There's Kazi. Past Greg Holt by a mile.
Yeah, I guess the pit timer, when they were stopped, it's only 0.2 of a second, but those newer tires, those fresher tires, may have just been the difference between that gap, which is currently, well, I cannot see right now, but looks like it's going to be well over 4 seconds. No, not a well over, but maybe 4 seconds.
Yeah, we'll wait for everything to cycle out before we, I guess, call anything. There's a lot of damage on that truck right there, that truck with green rims. How about the 66 Joshua Lane Fox going down and away? Now Andrew Pratt pits. Tyler Markle is still out there. Andrew Pratt on the pit lane. Andrew St. Coeur stays out. Pratt in the box there. You see all those blue lines. Those are IndyCar pit boxes, by the way, so don't get confused by those, but those are for the IndyCars when they race here. Those blue marks on the pit lane.
Could be a new target for them to hit. Looks like it's lining up perfectly on the middle of some of those pit boxes. Pratt with one of the quickest pit stop times, 14.6, 0.2 of a second quicker than our previous leader. So, I mean, Coyer looks like he's only 8.1 seconds. Is he coming back down into pit lane?
He pitted earlier in the race on one of the cautions. So this is actually his second time on the pit lane, but he pitted under one of the yellow flags early. Doug Solms is in as well. Tyler Markle is now coming down the pit lane. Here he comes, the race leader.
So those drivers that pitted early during the yellow flags, looks like they have a lot more fuel on board. So I'm not pretty sure there was 6-7 laps extra. Could that pay off in the end, Emerson?
It could. It opens the door to strategy. Everybody can go about 50 laps. We saw at Kansas. Not everybody could go only about 47, 48 laps. And that's a similar sized track. Jesse Adams is still out there. So Tyler Markle, by going this long, he gives himself that cushion. If he can only go 47, 46 laps on gas, he can make it to the end on one stop. Jesse Adams as well. So that'll be intriguing. Everybody else may have to make a second pit stop. Tyler Markle may make this race on one pit stop.
That could be a really, really interesting challenge. Obviously, the challenges of making one stop could be the tires. Those could be the deciding factor.
Absolutely.
And, I mean, when you talk about tires, look at the gap between Adams and Holt. Well over 3 seconds between those two. Between Kazi and Holt, not Adam and Holt. Kazi and Holt, 5 seconds already. So I got it wrong. And, well, the gap is even bigger. It looks like Holt might be under challenge from Berger in a few minutes.
So here's the thing with that, though. Greg does have 2 lap fresher tires, and if they are close on fuel, Greg has 2 laps more fuel. So there's a lot to go on here. Maybe Joseph just knows he can't make it to the end on a one-stop strategy, so he's gonna have to make it to. Oh my goodness! How about this pack here? This is Gilliard, Fitzpatrick, and Villalobos. This is her 7th. They're all in a pack right here.
This is interesting to see. Number 33, number 2, and the number 45. All of them looking racy at one point in the race. Looks like the 33 is having the best race so far, currently in 7th place. But, I mean, those two are going to still be battling. Looks like we do have, is that 2 Toyotas and 1 Chevy?
Yeah, behind them, that is the 96 there. That's a lap truck. The 96. Who is that? That is Matt Rogers. No, I'm sorry. No, that is the 69. My bad. That is not a lap truck. That is John Mickey in the 69. He's in the Tundra. 2 Chevys, 2 Tundras. You're right.
We haven't touched a lot in John Mickey. It looks like he's having a good race as well. It nearly came into the barrier. I'm not pretty sure. Yeah, was there any contact?
I don't think so. And if there was, it's a little kiss. They got fenders. They're okay. But a hit with the right front into the wall, that's a different story. But I think he's okay. I don't think he hit the wall. But we continue on. And here's another battle. This is Service on Stutzman for 5th.
Oh, this is going to be interesting as well. We haven't touched a lot on Stutzman, but, I mean, Service, quite a bit. He has quite a bit of pace. He looks extremely racy. I'm not pretty sure if he pitted later than Stutzman, but he may have a bit better grip, looks like, than the number 71 right ahead of him.
So, Max Service did pit 2 laps later than Jeremiah Stutzman. So, Max Service has had 2 lap fresher tires than Jeremiah Stutzman. So we shall see how this goes.
those 2 laps are definitely gonna pay dividend, because look at the gap between Holt and Kazi, already down to 3.3. Although Burgers as well is coming down. Looks like Service hit the apron a little bit. That's gonna be losing him quite a bit of time. Look at that gap just increasing. So precision is still the name of the game, even with fresh tires. But these two are gonna keep going at it. Is that Burger right ahead of him? No, that's Lingerfeld, right?
Yeah, that's Lingerfeld up there. So they're closing in on Lingerfeld, and Lingerfeld was one of those early pitters, I believe. So he may become a target here soon. And actually, Lingerfeld, I'm sorry, that's not. Lingerfeld has, yeah, he has some of the older tires. I was looking at the wrong number there. For Max Service and Stutzman, they're on the same age tires, Max Service and Jeremiah Stutzman. Lingerfeld on 1 lap older.
Sorry, I'm making your life difficult talking all about those, about these strategies.
No,
But the number 65.
That's how you. That's how you have to really. I think when it comes to NASCAR racing, it's all about tire life. But what is happening is we're coming to the end of the stage, and Joseph Kazi wins stage 2 over Greg Holt. But Holt, remember, they were 5 seconds apart. Now it's 2.6, 2.7.
And falling, it's still falling. So Holt looks like he has the better car on the early run of the fuel tank, essentially, but looks like Kazi may have just have the better car for the whole stage, or the whole tank, essentially, because this is sort of like a repeat what we saw in stage 1, isn't it? Holt just closes in, but then he just kind of drops off. We're gonna have to see if it happens again, but if that is, they may have been running different setups.
Certainly, I think that's one thing to consider, but I think Greg Holt there, he was just battling that lap truck for 2 laps. So that might hurt the gap as well. We'll see if Holt can close it back in. But yeah, he was battling that lap truck for a lot of laps there, that 55 of Jesse Adams. 1 lap down. And there's the gap. It's closing a little bit. It's going to open up here on the straightaway, but I think Holt will close in the corners. And Kazi gets it on the straights. So it's intriguing to look at it like that. Stutzman has passed Kyle Lingerfeld. He's left Max Service, and he's going bye-bye.
Yeah, he's gonna say bye-bye real soon, and Service, something happened to him because he's extremely close. Now he has dropped off quite a bit. Lingerfeld obviously is not gonna be really happy about losing 4th place, but if he can keep up with Stutzman, it might help him propel to Berger. But Berger, well over 3 seconds ahead of these guys, so quite a big gap as well, and just running his own race.
So we do have the confirmed stage 2 results from Race Control, as these battles kind of sort themselves out slightly. The winner, Joseph Kazi, once again. I guess that's not really a surprise. Other than Greg Holt swept the stages last week at Kentucky, Joseph Kazi got 1 stage at Kansas. So they kind of been trading stages here, but Joseph Kazi got 2 stages today. Second was Greg Holt over Seth Berger, 3rd. Kyle Lingerfeld was able to get 4th there at the stage, so Stutzman not quick enough to snag that stage point away from Kyle Lingerfeld. Lingerfeld got it at the line, Stutzman then passed him. Max Service was 6th, James Gilliard 7th, Seth Fitzpatrick 8th, Julio Villalobos 9th, and John Mickey rounds out the top 10 there for stage number 2. And there's this battle right now between Villalobos and John Mickey for 9th.
There you go. Looks like John Mickey is still making inroads. He's having quite a good race, I'm pretty sure. Villalobos, unfortunately, not recovering from that good qualifying position, just essentially falling back from the grid. But, you know, still a long race. We're approaching halfway right now, so quite a long race, quite a lot of way still to go, and I mean, plenty of time for Villalobos to bounce back. But I mean, Mickey, 18th place, currently 10th. He's making a fantastic race in my point of view.
Absolutely. And you look at the other way around, they've kind of met. Villalobos started 2nd. Of course, he got very sideways, and he was up in the middle of the pack, like back to 15th. It says as low as 19th. That might have been pit stops as well. But Villalobos started 2nd, and he's back here in 9th, while Mickey started 18th, and he's up here in 10th.
So quite the opposite of races, as you mentioned, you know, from 2nd to 9th, 18th to 10th. One driver is essentially falling off, the other driver is just recovering. And, I mean, recovering in a perfect way, the number 69. really a really good race car. Looks like he just has so much more confidence, so much more pace, but not finding his way through the number 45. He's definitely making that a little bit more difficult.
John Mickey trying to set up Villalobos. I don't know if he can pass into 3. But just sitting there, putting the pressure, looking to the inside. He can't get there. I think if he's going to make this pass, it's going to have to be here into turn 1. He's kind of sending it. They're going to go side by side, maybe. Villalobos might get the run off the corner. We'll see here, off of the corner. What,
Villalobos off, yeah.
Oh, yep, there it is.
There you go.
There's that run.
The higher line allowing for, I guess, a better exit speed. That's just going to keep his position. Oh, the number 69 went a bit sideways.
More sideways.
Yeah, that was a big moment for him. But, I mean, saved it fantastically well. Lost a bit of pace, but, I mean, pointing in the right direction, that's all that matters.
Absolutely. And you know what else is pointed in the right direction? Oh, well, I don't know. He's in a pack of lab trucks. My goodness, Joseph Causey. And Greg Holt is catching. It's now 2.1 seconds, the gap between Causey and Holt. But Causey got through this lap traffic almost. Holt has not gotten to this lap traffic.
Yeah, that's going to be a big point in how well Holt can manage these cars. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 cars.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and some of them might be battling for position. So this could get very interesting very quickly.
They're mostly, let's see. Ben Park has had a rough race. He is 2 laps down. But you look at it, Andrew St. Court and the 47 there, Andrew Schroeder, they are battling for position. They're battling for 17th. The Andrews going at it, Schroeder and St. Court, the 47 and the 12. And Greg Holt has just got past one of the lap trucks there of the 55. Jesse Adam. No, remember, that was the truck he was side by side with. And that 55 will not go away. But remember,
55 is sticking in there, yeah.
Remember, the 55 was the last truck to pit. So he has the freshest tires in the field, that 55 does. And here comes the Andrews, one up the track. That's St. Cour, way up there. The 47 of Schroeder in that New York Jets truck on the inside.
Yeah, the 47 gets the move done. I'm not pretty sure that was an over and under, but he gets the inside line to 3 and 4. Can he keep the 12 behind, or is the 12 going to get a better exit?
Oh, no, he's in the wall.
Well, that's going to answer that. The 12 is going to be losing the position. The number 3 is going to be coming through. Yes, he does. He does all of that while taking time away from Causey.
1.7. Oh, he's going to lose a little time here in the center of the corner. I don't know what's the true gap right now because Holt's in a pack of trucks. So I don't know if this is true or not. So we'll have to try to see when Greg Holt gets out of this pack what the gap is. But right now he's got 2 more trucks to pass. The New York Giants number 47 Toyota Tundra right there. And, oh goodness, what is that? The 25 truck there. Is that Eric Peck? That is Eric Peck in the 16. What? That's not a bad run for Eric Peck now. Oh, and into the wall. Oh, Andrew Schroeder nearly overcorrects it into Greg Holt. Andrew Schroeder big time into the wall. And that, oh my goodness. Andrew Schroeder is a teammate to Greg Holt. And if he would have taken out his teammate who's fighting for up there in the championship, oh my goodness, that would not have gone over well.
Yeah, that would have definitely caused. It looks like he's going to be parking because he was definitely speeding coming into the pit lane. Oh, we do have another car spinning.
That's John Mickey in the 69. Oh no, he was up in 10th.
He had a fantastic race. I'm not pretty sure if he just lost the car on the exit of turn 4. That definitely has to be it. Or did he get any contact?
Well, we're going to see the replay and find out John Mickey first, and then we'll go back and see what happened to Andrew Schroeder. Maybe. So here it is, John Mickey battling the 75 of Andrew Pratt. Remember, John Mickey was loose. And, oh, yeah, once again, just loose. He hits the 75, though, of Andrew Pratt. That gives him heavy damage. And, oh, man. I think he's just trying to get off the track and not, like, bring out a caution. But still, that is unfortunate there for the 69 of John Mickey. Now we're gonna try to figure out what happened to the 47 of Andrew Schroeder. Andrew Schroeder there in the New York Jets truck. And I was just about to say, the New York Jets, they've gotten a couple good wins here in the NFL. So repping the Jets a little bit to be proud for, and just loose off the corner. He hits the wall a second, a third, and a fourth time because he hooked the wheel right. Because he almost hit Greg Holt. I know that's exactly what's going through his mind, is that he did not want to hit the 3 of Greg Holt.
Yeah, and doing that, he actually did not come back into the track at all, preventing a yellow as well. So taking a big hit essentially for the team, doing a fantastic job. Unfortunately for him, there might be race over, but
yeah, he's
it looks
left.
like Stutzman.
Oh, big moment there for the 71.
Yeah, he got a massive tank slapper. He does it well to save. Is he battling for position? Yes, he is.
Yeah, he's
Berger
gonna make
is
a pass.
He's gonna get past Berger.
Wait, he made the pass.
Something is wrong. Yeah, something's wrong with Berger. He was well clear of this pack.
Oh, I think Stutzman is on severely fresher. Well, let's see. Stutzman's on 2 lap fresher tires, and I think Seth was just trying to let him by. And Stutzman, he got loose. I don't know. Maybe something is wrong for Seth. Maybe you save. I don't.
No, Stutzman, I guess, just has a great pace because Lingerfeld still 2 point. No, he looks like he's less than 2 seconds away from Berger. So Berger losing a bit of time and the rest of the pack catching up. But Stutzman, I mean, just flying off into the distance.
Right on board here with Seth Berger, and pit stops, they are a coming. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and step aside here. We're gonna go side by side from the virtual Fort Worth, Texas, the virtual Texas Motor Speedway here in virtual No Limits, Texas. Don't you go anywhere. Joseph Causey, a 2.8 second advantage at the front of the field. We'll be keeping the action right here on side by side.
Sound art is a product that is a speaker and it's art. We combine it together and we call it sound art. What makes it so unique that any picture can be your speaker? Sound art gives you the high quality sound without the ugly speaker. This isn't a picture with a speaker, the picture is the speaker. Just imagine your wedding picture uploaded onto a canvas and now it's speaking 10,000 tunes. I mean, it's a very cool concept. What we like so much about it that you can take anything that means something very special to you, upload it on the canvas, have it hanging up in your room, your balcony, wherever you want to put it, and now it's a speaker. I mean, how cool is that? It's something that we have that and no one has. No one has this product. It's just a great gift to give anybody. It's just a neat concept. Around here we say, art never sounded so good.
After months of quarantine, we're all interested in how we can become our best self. The team at Permanent Makeup and Cryo is here to help you get the flawless makeup look every day without the extra effort or time. When it comes to your appearance, you deserve the best care that money can buy.
Sound art introduces an entirely new way to listen to music in your home. By combining the best of 2 products, a revolutionary high-fidelity, low-profile Bluetooth wireless speaker with beautiful artwork. Select from a library of artwork or upload your own photos to personalize your experience. Sound art ushers in an era of invisible, beautiful, and amazing sound throughout your home and redefines your entire entertainment system. The need to reclaim your floor space and rid your home of unsightly speaker boxes that need to be bolted to the wall is now a thing of the past. Our canvas is printed on high-quality permalite by Breathing Color. And select from our gallery or upload your own. Standard sizes include 16 by 20 and 18 by 24 canvas wrapped. Custom sizing is available, as well as surround sound options.
Have you found yourself trying to hide your joy because you're unhappy with your teeth? Your smile is the first feature noticed in an interview, on a date, or in family photos. We want you to be able to shine bright as your best self, and our teeth whitening system is the perfect step toward restoring your confidence.
Welcome, race fans, back to the virtual Texas Motor Speedway here in virtual Fort Worth, Texas. No Limits, Texas. Again, NASCAR's mile-and-a-half oval here in the Lone Star State. Joseph Chiazzi still well in command of this field by 2.8 seconds. And I thought he was slowing there. He was not slowing. I thought there was a caution on the speedway for a second. But we are still green. We're still A-okay. Just a little awkward on the timing there, I guess. The thing there. But, yeah, we're into it now. Coming around about 50 laps to go. I expect final pit stops to be here shortly. And Joseph, you know, I think Joseph might be saving fuel. Because it was getting close on fuel there. If Joseph can make it... It's going to be close. I think Joseph's barely going to make it on a one-stop strategy. So I think he might be trying to save a little bit right now.
Yeah, looks like they may save, you mentioned, right, 50 laps on the fuel tank. They only have to make around 2 more laps, but obviously if we do have a caution later on the race, it could really pay off if you just stretch just a tiny little bit over 100 laps.
Well, so that's what I thought at Kansas. I thought it was about 50 laps, but the drivers then told me after it was about 45, 46, 47 laps. So, we're about that mark. And so that's why, remember, we came back from the replay, and we saw everybody pit on the same lap. And so everybody is kind of running their fuel as long as they can. Everybody's trying to get as close as they can to running out so they can make it the most laps. And that made a lot of sense to me after it happened. Because normally we only see about 1 or 2 trucks start the pit stops. That time we had about 10 trucks on the pit lane when the pit stop started. And that just, I was so confused. And I'm like, oh my god, I thought it was a caution. But
yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how many of those guys that started the pit cycle, who's gonna come out obviously first, and who saved more fuel. So it's gonna be interesting to see what turns out in the next few laps. But looking at the timing sheets, look at the gap between first and second, already increasing to well over 3 seconds.
So yeah, as soon as the fuel window opens, which should be in a couple laps here, I think, I mean, I don't know, what do you do if you're Greg Holt? Do you short pit? Do you go long? It's tough. I mean, can you make up that margin? It's going to be, I guess, working through lap traffic. Last time Greg Holt went he went 2 laps longer than Joseph Kazi. Does he bank on Joseph maybe not being able to make it on fuel? I don't know. We do have a pitter right now in the pit lane. Is the 95 of Devin Smith. Trying to get to him. There he is. One of the first pit stops. Is this the fuel window? Is this just the edge? It's going to be intriguing to see where everything shakes out. But here's the 95 in the pit box, and we should see more. Here comes the race leader, Joseph Kazi.
Oh, this is going to be interesting. So we're going to have to see if Holt follows him or... Oh, does he speed?
Did he speed?
Oh, this is going to get interesting.
It'll be close. And again, we won't really know until he stops in the pit box and we see that pit timer. Greg Holt stays out as the leader. Seth Berger, last season's champion, follows Joseph Kazi.
So 14.78 was his first pit stop. We're going to have to see how long do they take in the second. And obviously, as you mentioned, if you go for the undercut, you're going to have better tires, going to create a gap. But if you go for the overcut, you're going to have newer tires later on. So could really help out in the later run. 14.50. So
like
quicker one. Yeah, looks like he's going to be good for Speedy.
The Lobos is in, and a couple more. Eric Peck. Now we have Max Service in the 81 coming down the pit lane. There he is. And Max Service, one of those drivers, he was great early at the beginning of the run, but he struggled as we got later into the run. So he's trying to kind of maximize the beginning of these stints, or try to extend these tires a little bit longer into these stints.
Can he make any adjustments to the car during the pit cycle to essentially improve? Because as you mentioned, he was quite poor on the second stint, essentially after the first pit stop, as Holt looks like comes in 2 laps later than his teammate.
So yeah, they can make sliders. They can adjust tire pressures. They can adjust a little bit of the rubber. In real life NASCAR, you can adjust the wedge and the track bar. I don't believe these drivers have those options, but you can put some rubber in the rear tires to try to add a little bit of grip or make it a little loose, a little tighter. Greg Holt is down and away, so this is gonna be the real thing here. Where did oh no! What just happened there?
Was there contact?
Oh, Greg Holt has damage.
Oh, that's gonna be a game changer.
Oh,
He has
no.
big damage.
Something amiss for Greg Holt. You know, Tyler Markle. Okay, Tyler Markle. I thought there was a caution. Something amiss on Greg Holt's truck, and he's parked it. He is done. He is towed it back to the pit lane. He is essentially given up on the race, and he's got a large margin in the points, but he's heading to a track he's not too fond of at the Charlotte Roval. We're going to see here what happened to Greg Holt. So here's the initial replay here. We'll watch it from this shot. Down and away, Greg Holt is. That pit timer, that is not live. That is the pit timer is live. What happened here? Oh, what? Oh no! Why'd the 48
no.
stop? Oh no!
Oh, that's gonna be interesting to see what happened, because you don't really stop on a pit lane, and that caused the 3 his race. I mean, that's big damage, enough to make him tow back to the pit lane. So it's gonna have big alterations for the race, but also for the championship.
And Garrett Velzy also has left the race, so I don't know if he meant to do this, or I don't know, but he got going. I don't. What happened? I'm not too sure what happened there. That is. Oh no! Oh, he spat. Oh, I think he spat on the pit lane. And then he was trying to get out of, like, he was trying to leave the race, as he didn't want to serve the penalty, I guess. You know, he just kind of quit, and he did that right in front of Greg Holt. Oh no, that is huge. Nowhere for Greg Holt to go. We're gonna watch this one more time, because this is potentially season changing right here. We'll see if Greg Holt, you know, was able to circumvent this at the Roval. But, oh man. There's nowhere to go. Not enough time to react.
Yeah, not a lot of time as well. That's a bit difference, and also the angle, and that was a big hit.
Absolutely, and you see there's Greg Holt, Tyler Markle, one of the last drivers to come down to pit lane. Jesse Adams, the last driver to come down to pit lane. There he is. We're here with 40 laps to go. Everybody should be able to make it on fuel. If it's going to be close, it's going to be Devin Smith maybe, the closest, but it looks like everybody should be able to make it on this one stop now. So it's going to be intriguing to see where it all shakes out. Remember now, Greg Holt towing gives up a lot of spots here, or changes the top 10 a little bit. Everybody in the top 10 gains a spot besides Joseph Kazi. So that affects the playoffs a little bit as well.
And the top 10 is really mixed up. As you can see, Service all the way in 4th place, Villa Lobos in 6th, Fitzpatrick dropping all the way down into 9th place. So it's really mixed up top 10 after that incident. Kazi obviously 10 seconds ahead of the pack, but quite interesting to see how well it mixed up.
And look at that. Seth Fitzpatrick is in 9th place, and he is 1 lap down. That is sheerly the pace that Joseph Kazi has set today. That is phenomenal. He has lapped championship competition inside the top 10.
That's crazy dominance right there. It's pretty much looks like his home track, looks like his track at the moment. 9.9 seconds ahead of 2nd place. He's just gonna cruise. He just has to, control the pace. There's nothing to it. There's no one is gonna get close to him. His only competition got taken out during the pits, so should be an easy cruising. But the race is never over until it's over.
So here's a battle for position. This is Max Service trying to fend off Kyle Lingerfeld. They catch him to the lap truck of Devin Smith. Oh my goodness. You know, Devin Smith is a teammate to Lingerfeld. Maybe he was there to help out a little bit. But Max Service holds on to for now. But Lingerfeld trying to find. Oh, hits the wall hard.
Oh, he's gonna be biting himself after that one. A small mistake. He did the same as Devin Smith, essentially, right behind him. So unfortunate for him, that's gonna be a big damage, isn't it? That's gonna really cost him a lot of pace.
That one was heavy. I don't know if he finishes inside. He might still finish on the lead lap. I don't know. I don't know about maybe top 7, top 8. That he's gonna lose a lot of time if Gilliard and Markle have clean trucks. I don't know. We'll see. There's only 35 laps to go, but that was heavy, and he's on 2 lap fresher tires than Max Service, and he pretty much threw away any chance he had at getting the Max Service, even with 2 lap fresher tires.
So right now, from going on to attacking, he's gonna have to defend from the rest of the grid. Looks like
This is a lap truck.
Oh, he's gonna be defending from a lap truck as well. But I was looking at the timing scores. Looks like Gilliard got past Villalobos. They're stuck in quite a battle, but they still have over 8 seconds to catch up to Lingerfeld.
Right.
So they kind of have to work together if they want to get that position.
Yeah, you know, maybe Lingerfeld is able to hold on to that 5th place finish just because the field is so spread out at this point. Well, I say spread out. Everybody's in like little packs. Similar, I guess they're running little packs with lap trucks. It's similar to, I guess, practice a little bit. Where you just kind of race, you know, kind of with anybody, just logging laps. That's what it feels like right now. Like a little bit of a practice session. But of course, we're full on racing. This is playoff racing. Villalobos way up the track, letting the lap truck by there to 67 of Doug Solms, the last truck, 1 lap down in P15. And I want to give another shout out to Doug Solms. I kind of do this. He's kind of been stringing together these runs. He started dead last on the grid, 27th. Just staying clean, staying consistent. He's up to 15th. And he's kind of one of those drivers. He does that. He is one of those slow and steady wins the race drivers. And he's up to 15th. And I'm massive respect to that.
Yeah, I'm one of those as well. You know, sometimes having a boring race is the best thing that you can have, because you're gonna be clean, you're gonna be running at your own pace, you're not gonna be under pressure, and sometimes that's all you need.
Absolutely. And so again, he's the last truck, 1 lap. Actually, he just made a pass. That's Doug Solms. He just passed Andrew St. Cour for 14th. And here comes Tyler Markle. He passed Villalobos for 8th. Tyler Markle, he wants 6th right now. Trying to take that away from Gilliard, who's a couple trucks ahead of him.
Yeah, looks like Villalobos is dropping off quite a bit, but that's going to allow Markel to essentially get pace. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was one of the last drivers to pit, as you mentioned. So he's going to have a lot of pace, only 0.2 of a second behind Gilliard. So he's going to should get a position pretty easily.
Doug Solms there, the Canadian from Ontario. Here comes Tyler Markle passing by the Michigander on Gilliard. He hits the apron, near contact, holding on to it. Still side by side to the line. Markle gets it there at the line, trying to get the spot into 1.
Does the lap car, is that a lap car in front of them? Yes, it is. Do they get him in the way? No, the 42 already cleared the number 33. So that's a move done and dusted right there.
And Tyler Markle has put himself up into the 6th position. And here's the real kicker. Tyler Markle has some of the freshest tires in the field. He has 5 lap fresher tires than Kyle Lingerfeld, who's damaged this truck. And the gap is 5.9 seconds. He's gained half a second in 2 laps. Can he catch the wounded 65 of Kyle Lingerfeld? That'll be an intriguing thing to keep an eye on with 28 laps to go this time by.
Yeah, that's going to be a fantastic challenge. It will be interesting if he can catch up. Only, it looks like 20 laps to go. If he has a spotter, the spotter will definitely tell him that the car ahead of him is wounded, it's damaged, and he's losing a bit of pace. Not a lot of pace, though. It's like it's still, is that 5 seconds between those two? Yeah, so the gap has come down quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
So if his spotter warned him, I'm pretty sure it's going to be pedal to the metal.
Oh, here we go. Look at that. It was 5.0 as soon as you put the graphic up. Through one turn, it's 4.7. Oh, baby. Here it goes. 4.6. He is on it. Now, he has to be sure to not shred his tires too quickly. Not use it too quickly to get up here. He doesn't want to pass him. And then Lingerfeld save a little bit of tire and get right back by.
But does Lingerfeld battle this and risk losing more time to allow more people to get past? Or does he just
Good point.
allow Markel to just essentially get past and ride on his wave, essentially trying to get a little bit of gap? You can see it's already down 1 second. It's already down to less than 4 seconds already. So maybe not fighting might be the way to go. You know, not holding yourself up, not losing more time.
I don't disagree with that. You know what? Tyler Markle is a teammate, so maybe they will work together. It'll be something here. I don't think Lingerfeld's gonna really fight Markle, knowing that there's so many. Well, when Markle catches up, if Markle catches up, it's gonna be about 20 laps left in the race. But that's a lot of time to try to fight. I think he's gonna try to. Yeah, I agree with that. I think he's gonna just ride behind and see what he can do with it.
He's losing nearly a second each lap.
Yeah,
Last time
nearly.
out was 4
That's crazy.
seconds. This is already 3.1. So, I mean, this car is definitely very damaged. So, I mean, if this continues, he's gonna be within his bag by lap 129. As mentioned, 130. Only 20 laps to battle. So, this is just damage limitation for Lingerfeld at this point, isn't it?
It is, and he's one of those drivers who is kind of struggling on the cut line. And I want to see here. I heard him shift. Oh, sideways through the center. Oh no.
Is the engine gone?
No, he's saving fuel, I guess. But I don't. Is he close on fuel? Can he not make it? Uh-oh. Is that
Oh,
enough?
this could be the reason he's losing a second each lap.
Is this opening Pandora's box to the whole field? Can maybe some drivers in this field not make it on gas? Uh-oh.
This has just become a lot more interesting.
Intriguing. I don't know what to make of this. If that is the case, I don't think everybody's going to struggle on field, but I could be wrong. So we're seeing here Lingerfeld. I mean, he's quickly getting caught here by Markle. That is why he's losing a lot of time, though. The coasting in the corner.
Yeah, this is 100% explained. He was not losing this much time, so he's saving fuel for some odd reason. I'm not pretty sure why it is, but I mean, if he's low on fuel, this is gonna make the race a lot more interesting.
And if I have to say it, he pitted 3 laps later than Joseph Causey. 2 laps later than Max Service. Here comes Tyler Markle for the pass. Markle has he pitted 5 laps later than Lingerfeld, so Markle's good. If they're close on gas, Markle is good. But Lingerfeld, if he's trying to save, what is the state of Causey and Max Service?
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. We're gonna have to take a look at the onboard of those drivers to see if they're saving as well, and if they are, well, this race is definitely not over.
Here, let's ride on board with Joseph Causey. He's a smart driver now. I know he's been on the sim for a long time. He knows how to win these races. But it doesn't sound like he's saving. Or if he is, he's doing it in a way where he's backing, he's lifting off the throttle early into the corners. Trying to, I guess, use less. I mean, he's got a 9-second lead. He could definitely save it if he needed to. But he's not at the moment. Maybe he's trying to use the draft of those lap trucks ahead.
Could definitely be it. The gap is still quite close to Stutzman. Looks like Stutzman got past Berger as well into second place. Yeah, the gap
Lappers are
is
3 wide.
Yeah, that's not really a side you want to see. The number 95 kind of gets checked up, and that's gonna slow him down just a tiny bit. You have to be careful, cautious around these parts. And it looks like he's just gonna be navigating one by one. That's exactly how you have to take.
Oh, but
He's
the
in a sandwich
66
right now.
The 66 got sideways right in front of him. Oh man, what are you thinking if you're the leader right now and the truck in front of you is loose?
Oh, that's gonna be interesting. Definitely got the leader's heartbeat up at this moment in time. Looks like he's gonna be negotiating another car, and well, this is the moment in time if you're the leader and you're seeing this with an 8.7 second gap. You're thinking, oh God, I really do have to take this slowly. But some things really do scare you.
Looks like Joshua Lane Fox was able to stabilize it for now. Actually, this is a battle up ahead. The 66 is on the lead lap. The 45 they're on the lead lap. They're battling for the last car on the lead lap, and they're going to potentially be battling for the first truck 1 lap down for the lucky dog.
Yeah, so this is a really important battle between all of these. Looks like they're 45. Might be losing the touch a little bit. As further behind, looks like they're still battling. Yeah, looks like the leader's going to be going down the inside of Villalobos. He's going to be going a lap down. So it's just a question of how long can Fox hold on to it.
Well, Villalobos doesn't give it up easy. Kazi is now clear, but Villalobos put up a fight there through the center of 1 and 2. James Gilliard has now passed Kyle Lingerfeld, and this is right in front of the leaders as well. Joseph Kazi is not too far behind.
Yeah, he's catching up to a lot of battles. I mean, he's pretty much lapping the field, isn't it? So it's just going to be a matter of time of who he laps last at this point. The number 66 kind of holding his ground, though.
Yeah, Joshua Lane Fox trying to stay out in front of the leader, or is Kazi saving? Has Kazi already saved because he has such a large lead? I don't know. Why is Lingerfeld saving? If Lingerfeld is saving, there's a whole lot of questions to be answered here. Can everybody make it on field? I assume yes, but I'm in the booth. I'm just commentary. I'm here for Mike. I'm not a driver. I don't know what these fuel gauges look like.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat. I have no idea what the fuel gauges are like. Last time out, I learned that, well, the fueling system is very different to GT cars, so they should have plenty of fuel, right, Emerson?
It is insanely different. So the fuel tank is in the back of the car, like most cars. Fuel injected. There's a lot. I'm not gonna explain, I guess, the entire fuel injection system. But I mean, they're not, I guess, modernized either in terms of fuel. Most of this is still, classic fuel lines and how the fueling is worked, if it's really modernized anyway. The pass there was made on Joshua Lane Fox, but at that, what's intriguing to me is you don't really see this in a whole lot of other racing series, mainly because they don't have as many full course yellows. But NASCAR, these drivers will actually shut the engines off under caution, sometimes under a green flag, to save that much fuel, and they can just turn them right back on. They have onboard
That's
starters.
what I find interesting, because obviously in road racing, it's a sad lap and you're done. So you just have to, calculate as much fuel as you need for a sad lap. This one, as you mentioned, you can go to overtime, can't you? So
Absolutely, that
really saving as much fuel as possible. I'm not pretty sure how quick is the fuel, how long do they take to fill up their tanks. I'm not pretty sure if it's fast or slow in the GT cars, but I mean, it's still a guessing game. I mean, you still have to save as much fuel to be in the better position later on in the race to essentially, I guess, proof yourself from the worst case scenario.
Yeah. You have to, save that fuel. Maybe Lingerfeld is saving fuel for a green white checkered, even though if a caution comes out, he's definitely got to fix the damage. But right now, Tyler Markle has just passed Max Service for 4th, and Markle is gone. Markle's on fresher tires. He's just kind of running his own race. Here is Lingerfeld, who is he's last truck on the lead lap, and Gilliard has just passed. And there's 11 laps to go. Trying to stay on the lead lap in case there is a late race caution. He's trying to stay in that position. But, I mean, Kazi's still not in frame yet. Kazi, though, is right there. On the same straightaway.
Yeah, looks like everybody's kind of close together. Looks like I think we should make a bet. With 10 laps to go, who is Kazi gonna lap last? Does he get close to Lingerfeld? Does he get close to Gilliard? I mean, this will be an interesting bet, I'd say.
It depends on the state of Kazi's tires and how much Kazi wants to push it. Because he's still maintaining a 9-second gap. I think he can get Gilliard. If he had a few more laps, he'd get service. I don't think he's going to get max service, though. But he's definitely capable of getting Gilliard before this race is over.
That would be very interesting to see the pace that he sells. Obviously, as you mentioned, he's the leader. He has over 9.4 seconds. He has no reason to push this much. Only 8 laps to go. He can just essentially cruise to the finish. Someone that is cruising, obviously, Lingerfeld carrying that much damage, it's not going to be usual. Kazi, I want to take a look at how he's tackling turns 1 and 2 at this late at the stage in the race. Is turns 3 and 4 flat? Looks like it is, isn't it?
Yeah. 3 and 4 with the right setup is going to be flat. Also in the cup cars, it's nearly flat, if not wide open. But that's the 550 and a lot of downforce. You're going to 1. That's a lot of off-throttle time. These trucks, they have less horsepower. They're somewhere in the range between 450 and 500 horsepower, which is still a lot, but less horsepower compared to the other NASCAR vehicles. And that's a lot of off-throttle time.
Yeah, looks like he may have just been saving tires and saving maybe even a bit of fuel. Not a lot of reason to push. He's matching the pace, I guess, of the rest of the field, maybe a bit quicker. But yeah, as you mentioned, quite a lot of off-throttle time between turns 1 and 2. As you can see, looks like nearly the exit of turn 2 is off the throttle.
Yeah. And he's still maintaining 9.2 seconds in front of Jeremiah Stutzman. At that, Jeremiah Stutzman is one of those drivers, he loves to think about strategy. He loves to be one of those drivers stretching it on fuel. He likes to be that guy that can win the race on fuel mileage. He's up here in second. He has 2 lap fresher tires than Joseph Kazi and Seth Berger and the like. And remember, he's one of those drivers, I said at the beginning of the race, emerging as one of those championship contenders. Becoming one of those drivers that could be a Joseph Kazi and a Greg Holt. Oh, interesting core up the track, just hit the wall. But Jeremiah Stutzman, he's starting to open his gap from the rest of the competitors, from Tyler Markle, Seth Berger, Max Service, Seth Fitzpatrick in the point standings. He came into this round 15 points above the cut line, while Markle was 8. And Markle was 4th, as Stutzman was 3rd in points. Stutzman, I mean, I don't know if he's going to get to the level, but Stutzman's always going to be a driver to watch out for. If he can make that championship race at Atlanta, Jeremiah Stutzman is going to be a driver you want to keep your eye on.
He's the, I mean, I'm pretty sure, I agree with you 100%. He's keeping up the gap with Kazi, and he's doing a fantastic race, which is really going to propel him. Obviously, Holt is not going to didn't finish the race, and the rest of the grid, the rest of the field that was above the cutoff, they're having good races. Lingerfeld, obviously, 7th place in the championship standings, 7th place in the race, and the only driver below the cutoff line is Fitzpatrick, but he's all the way down in 9th. So it's gonna, I don't think it's gonna go above the cutoff, but he should be close enough. It's gonna be all or nothing on the next race.
It'll be something to watch out for sure. What's really happened here, Brad Bothwell did not take the green flag in this race, which is crazy. He's going to end up actually 25th. He came and ran a few laps, but he did not finish. And he was outside the cut line coming into today's race, so that's huge. Seth Fitzpatrick is having a decent run. Matthew Setzer is not having a good run right now. He is last car running in 17th. And he was 9th in the playoffs outside the cut line. But you look to the drivers who were in coming into today. Greg Holt, who had a great race today, got some stage points, but that's going to hurt. It'll be intriguing to see where Holt comes out in the playoff standings after this. But Kazi's obviously leading. Jeremiah Stutzman is in 2nd. Tyler Markle is up there in 4th. Seth Berger is up there in 3rd. Max Service is up there in 5th. All those drivers above the cut line are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Except for Holt. And Lingerfeld's in 7th. So great run for all of them. Fitzpatrick didn't have a bad run, as Joseph Kazi has taken the white flag presented by Tucson Sound Art. Make sure you go to www.tucsonsoundart.com. And for the final time here in the Lone Star State, No Limits Texas put on a good show tonight. The Outlaws Sim Series had 2 cautions, somewhere in the range of 9 to 10 laps. But Joseph Kazi, for the 4th time this season, is going to win at Texas.
And what a way to win, dominant fashion. Led from start to finish, I'm pretty sure. And I mean, fantastic. Stutzman is going to be finishing 2nd place. Berger is going to be finishing 3rd place. It looks like Tyler is going to be, the number 42 is going to be finishing in 4th. And I mean, what a run from these guys. Service as well in 5th place. Amazing run by the playoff drivers.
That was it on the lead lap. He did lap James Gilliard. 80-88 of Joseph Kazi. So, top 5 drivers on the lead lap, and that is it. And look at this congratulatory bump from Jeremiah Stutzman. The teammates there, first and second. And Kazi is going to come to the front straightaway with reason to celebrate. He has tied teammate Greg Holt for the most victories on the season. And there it is. Light him up, Joseph. Tying Greg Holt for most wins on the season with 4. And locks himself into the next round. Joseph Kazi does.
That's why he won, and 100% locking yourself up into the next round is going to be perfect. But next week, he may be home as well.
Yep.
Remember how confident he was about Charlie Roval? Well, I mean, if he was that confident around here, I cannot wait to see what show he's going to be putting up next week.
Earlier this season at Watkins Glen, he got a pit road penalty and still won. I mean, this dude's nuts.
Well, there you go. That's all I needed to know.
So we're going to step aside. Joseph Kazi, he just blew the engine doing the burnouts. That's amazing. We're going to step aside. Don't you go anywhere. We'll have post-race interviews and more from virtual No Limits Texas Motor Speedway. Great host for the Outlaws Sim Series. Race number 18 at 22 on the season. Playoff race number 3. Post-race interviews and more on the far side. Don't go anywhere.
Sound art is a product that is a speaker and it's art. We combine it together and we call it sound art. What makes it so unique that any picture can be your speaker? Sound art gives you the high quality sound without the ugly speaker. This isn't a picture with a speaker, the picture is the speaker. Just imagine your wedding picture uploaded onto a canvas and now it's speaking 10,000 tunes. I mean, it's a very cool concept. What we like so much about it that you can take anything that means something very special to you, upload it on the canvas, have it hanging up in your room, your balcony, wherever you want to put it, and now it's a speaker. I mean, how cool is that? It's something that we have that and no one has. No one has this product. It's just a great gift to give anybody. It's just a neat concept. Around here we say, art never sounded so good.
After months of quarantine, we're all interested in how we can become our best self. The team at Permanent Makeup and Cryo is here to help you get the flawless makeup look every day without the extra effort or time. When it comes to your appearance, you deserve the best care that money can buy.
Sound art introduces an entirely new way to listen to music in your home. By combining the best of 2 products, a revolutionary high-fidelity, low-profile Bluetooth wireless speaker with beautiful artwork. Select from a library of artwork or upload your own photos to personalize your experience. Sound art ushers in an era of invisible, beautiful, and amazing sound throughout your home and redefines your entire entertainment system. The need to reclaim your floor space and rid your home of unsightly speaker boxes that need to be bolted to the wall is now a thing of the past. Our canvas is printed on high-quality permalite by Breathing Color. And select from our gallery or upload your own. Standard sizes include 16 by 20 and 18 by 24 canvas wrapped. Custom sizing is available, as well as surround sound options.
Have you found yourself trying to hide your joy because you're unhappy with your teeth? Your smile is the first feature noticed in an interview, on a date, or in family photos. We want you to be able to shine bright as your best self, and our teeth whitening system is the perfect step toward restoring your confidence.
Welcome, race fans, back to the virtual Texas Motor Speedway. Fort Worth, Texas, put on a great show tonight. No Limits, Texas, of course. Home of NASCAR's lone mile-and-a-half oval in the Lone Star State. And we're now to post-race coverage here of the Outlaws Sim Series, race number 18 of 22 tonight. And it was absolutely dominated by this man. Once he got out there, once he qualified up there and on the pole, he was gone. Joseph Kazi, it looked like you were untouchable tonight. I think the only laps you didn't lead tonight were on pit cycles. 135 of the 150 laps led, Joseph. Utter domination. And we may see the same thing next week, but how does this feel?
That was a statement, boy. that was a great setup, to be honest. I feel bad for Greg. Greg got into it with one of our teammates on pit road. Something happened. I don't know. I was going back over to look at that right now. And freaking, I knew if I could stay out front, because I knew if Greg caught me, it was going to be hard, because he was putting me through a hell of a challenge when we were doing practice laps. So I knew it was going to be very hard to hold him off. And then if I had to try to get him back around him. So putting the distance I was putting him under freaking with pit stops helped out quite a bit.
Absolutely. We saw it with after the first two cautions of the race. Greg, I think he pitted on one of those cautions to get some fresh tires. And he started mowing his way through the field. But he kind of got up to about third, up to second. And he kind of stalled out there. And I was like, okay, maybe that was the tires. But then it kind of happened again. Obviously, you pitted 2 laps before Greg on both of the green flag pit stops. But how, or I guess, did you know you had, it seemed like the long run pace over Greg?
It was 50-50, man. If Greg was out in front of me, because we tested a lot before we came here, if it seemed like Greg was in front of me, and you started like burning up the tires, like you can tell, like when you started lighting up the right rears, then it would go, it would go away. It would go away fast in a hurry if you lit up the rears. And I mean, clean air was king. If you had clean air, you didn't have to worry about traffic too much, and taper up and freaking haul butt.
You'll have to hear it, Joseph. And if you weren't even able to get the job done tonight, we know we're heading to your wheelhouse next week at a roadie. I told JP this, that if you need to know how well Joseph Kazi will do on a road course, let's look back to Watkins Glen. You got a pit road penalty for driving down the wrong side on pit lane, and you still won.
Yeah, I think that was just something special. If I had to duplicate that one again, that would be kind of hard to do. But I sucked it up, put my head down, and freaking on that at Watkins Glen, and I freaking just made it happen.
Absolutely. So what can you tell us? What can we expect out of the Charlotte Roval? Now, I know JP asked you about this a little earlier as well, but the trucks are a little different. The trucks don't actually even race the Roval in real life. What kind of a background do you have with the trucks at the Roval? Do you think it's gonna translate pretty well? Do you think, you'll be able to show up and just dot them up, or what are you feeling?
I think we got a pretty decent setup for it to baseline start with. So we'll see coming next week. Run some practice laps and see where we're at it.
Right on. Well, Joseph, you said it yourself. A statement win tonight. You tied Greg for most wins on the season at 4. We're looking to get your 5th next week at the Charlotte Roval. we'll give you the floor here to shout out. Have you got a shout out? Thank you. We're gonna thank for the dominant performance tonight, leading all but 15 laps, and I think those laps all went to Tyler Markle and Pit Cycles.
Thank Greg, thank freaking Miz, whoever, all the help. Freaking Brooks even came in and helped us. It's one of our guys that freaking outside of this that comes and help us out. Rob Pendleton, all of them, man. They freaking came in. We ran hundreds of laps, freaking trying to figure this thing out. So, I wasn't good here on another league, and I was good here today. So that felt good to me. And thanks to my dad and my aunt if they're watching. Hopefully they got to watch.
Right on. Hopefully they did get to see the Joseph Causey show. It'll be coined today. 135 and on 150 laps ran today. Congratulations once again on your 4th win on the season. Best luck to you next week at the Charlotte Roval. Congratulations on locking yourself in to the next round with Talladega and Bristol.
All right. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Driver of the number 88, Joseph Causey, got it done tonight, leading 135 laps. Normally, when we talk to the winner, there's 2 sides to every story, but tonight, Jeremiah Stutzman was 10 seconds behind Joseph Causey. Came into today's race, started 4th, kept it clean, was able to get around Seth early on and Villalobos, and kind of stuck it up here in 2nd. Jeremiah had to work your way around Berger, but once you got there, it was pretty much set sail for you. Talk about your relatively quiet day after those first 2 cautions.
Well, definitely the second half was a lot more quiet. 'Cause that first 5 laps, I just came to a complete stop on the inside right behind Greg.
Oh, that's right.
So then when the pits, and normally last season when a caution would come out early, you'd stay out and it would go green. And apparently this year it's you pit and it goes green. So you lose all your track position. I think that was the big difference between me and catching the 88 tonight.
Well, yeah, I see there at the end, you were starting to run quicker laps than Joseph by about a 10th or so. But at that point, it's such a large margin to overcome. But running through the field the way you had to, going through the plethora of drivers all across the spectrum of talent, at a track that's very hard to overtake at. Where do you put that in yourself, being able to work your way through the field? Granted, maybe you had, I don't know, half a lap fresher tires in the field at that, or I guess a lap and a half at that point. But still, working your way through the field the way you did at a track that's very hard, incredibly hard to overtake at. Where do you hold that for you in this playoff hunt?
I think it was a lifesaver for this round, especially because I don't think I got a lot of stage points, so just keeping moving forward throughout the race was a big deal.
Well, coming up next is the Charlotte Roval. I know it's a wild card. Last season, I think the only road course we had full course cautions at, other than the miscue at Daytona. It's a wild card at that. What do you expect from yourself at the Charlotte Roval, and how do you kind of avoid a lot of the chaos we could be anticipating?
I don't know how to avoid it. Just hope you don't get in it. I feel a lot better about it now after the way this race went, so I'm kind of looking forward to it now.
Fair enough. Maybe the opportunity to go out there and have a little fun, turning left and right, Jeremiah. Before we let you go here, we give the floor here to shout out. Have you got a shout out? Thank you. We're going to thank for your second place run tonight.
I just want to thank Adam, you for broadcasting, and all my teammates, Kazi, Greg, and the rest of them.
Right on. Well, Jeremiah, again, an impressive second place finish. I think more impressive to get to pass the entire field on a track that you can barely overtake at. So congratulations on that, working your way through the field and getting up to second place. Unfortunately, didn't get to see if you had anything for Joseph Causey there at the end. But we'll move on with that. Best luck to you at the Charlotte Roval and beyond as you try to advance through the playoffs.
All right, thank you.
Driver of the number 71, Jeremiah Stutzman, coming home in the second position. And of course, we'll bring on up last season champion, coming home last spot on the podium tonight. Seth, topsy-turvy day, I'd say. You started 10th and then roared your way through the running order on those early restarts, got up to 2nd, and then it was kind of on from there. You have to battle hard with Seth Fitzpatrick and a plethora of other drivers tonight, and then of course Stutzman there later on in the race. Kind of hanging out in the top 2, top 3, top 5 throughout the day. How would you grade yourself today after qualifying 10th?
I'll give myself a A-, B-, or B+. I mean, I feel like made the most out of the setup. The setup just wasn't completely there for a race-winning truck. Causey and Holt were just in a whole different zip code there for a while. I don't exactly know what happened to Holt yet. That's unfortunate, whatever happened to him. But yeah, I just maximized the setup of the truck, so I'm really satisfied with that. That's all you could do. You can't outrace the truck, you know.
So at a truck that was hard to overtake at, you got into that, I guess, locked horn battle with Fitzpatrick. And how was that? Both of you kind of hanging on at the edge of grip. Again, at a track, he's got to do a lot more and then just get there to try to make an overtake here. But going through that battle, what's going through your mind? Knowing that both of you, have a lot to race for. He's outside the cut line. You're relatively inside.
Oh, I just knew clean air was king, man. So especially when he got below me, man, I was more than happy to let him get the inside because I did not want to get pinned down the inside. The truck was just too unstable, really. It was either going to snap loose on me or just push really tight, and I don't think I was able to do anything. So luckily I was able to keep it strong on that high side and keep it rolling. But yeah, surprisingly I'm not thinking too much of points when I'm racing specific other people. I'm just race as hard as you can, man, and the points will take care of itself. I do more of the points thinking coming to the stages and all that kind of stuff.
I like that. You were up there, plethora stage points to go around for you, up there in the top 5 through both stages. Seth, you look forward now to the Charlotte Roval. We had a lot of chaos there last year. I think we had 4 full course cautions. What's your mindset going into Charlotte? How do you avoid all that chaos, all that?
Qualify well, man. I think if you qualify well, you'll be able to stay out of a lot of the mess. Unfortunately, you could qualify on pole there and die in the first turn. But yeah, I think the front will get spread out a lot quicker. So try to work on qualifying pace, and I think me and Max have some decent road course pace in this league. So I don't think we'll be winning, but like I said, you just got to maximize the most out of the truck, and I think we can get around a top 5 result there.
Yeah, I'll bite my tongue there as relative to your qualifying up front, as I recall qualifying 2nd and being 43rd after turn 1.
Yeah.
But that's just the way it can go sometimes with the Charlotte Roval, Seth. So again, a great deal of points for you tonight with the stage points and the 3rd place finish. So points should not be a huge concern for you next week at Charlotte. So with that being said, we'll give you the floor to shout out. Who we're going to shout out? Thank you. We're going to thank for getting you the opportunity to kind of go into Charlotte a little more open-minded.
Just like to thank the sponsors, Liftworks, Flood Brothers, Trans Depot, and my very own brand, Berg Arts on Instagram. You can see that on my truck, on my spoiler there, and the logo's on the deck lid. So yeah, check that out. I'm trying to get a photo shoot in soon, and just want to thank Burger Nation for supporting me every Wednesday night and Sunday night. So come support on Sunday night too.
Right on. Well, there it is. Last season champion Seth Berger coming home 3rd tonight here at the Texas Motor Speedway. Seth, congratulations on your podium. Best luck to you at Charlotte.
All right, thank you.
And well, that is the podium finishers tonight. The top 3 interviews. Again, 3 different races ran tonight. Joseph Causey with the dominant performance, 135 laps. Jeremiah Stutzman had to work his way through the field. And Seth Berger just kind of rode up here, did what he could, but could only do so much. Came home with that 3rd place finish. Let's see how the rest of the field, how everybody else came to the checkers there at the end. And we look at it, of course, there it is. Joseph Causey with the victory. Jeremiah Stutzman 2nd, Seth Berger 3rd, Tyler Markle will come home in 4th. Max Service rounds out the top 5 and last truck on the lead lap. James Gilliard, the first truck, 1 lap down in 6th. Kyle Lingerfeld 7th. Joshua Lane Fox in 8th. Seth Fitzpatrick in 9th. And Julio Villalobos in 10th. The next page of results will find Jesse Adams in the 55 in 11th. Eric Peck comes home 12th, 1 lap down. Doug home 13th, 1 lap down. The first truck 2 laps down was Andrew St. Cyr in the 12 and 14th. Benjamin Park comes home 15th. Devin Smith 16th, and Matthew Setzer, the last truck running 2 laps down there in 17th. Some of the DNFs tonight: Greg Holt, championship contender there, of course. A great deal of points lost by doing that, but he got some stage points to kind of counter that. We'll see how it all shakes out. 45 laps down there is Greg. Garrett Velzy comes home 19th, 47 laps down. And at 20th, Andrew Pratt, 62 laps down. Heartbreakers Row continues with John Mickey, 68 laps down in 21st. Andrew Schroeder, 69 laps down there in 22nd. Joshua Gaffright, 86 laps down in 23rd. Brad Bothwell, 96 laps down in 24th. Randall Barnett, my apologies. 96 laps down in 24th. Brad Bothwell, 137 laps down there in 25th. Jason Miz, 147 laps in 26th. Matt Rogers only was able to complete 1 lap, annihilated on lap 1, 149 laps down there in 27th. Again, I have to give a huge shout out to our partners here at PitStop TV, those of Tucson Sound Art. Your picture, your music. Use promo code PitStop TV at checkout for 10% off of your wall-mounted sound art device today, and go to www.tucsonsoundart.com. A huge shout out to Permanent Makeup and Cryo in Maine. You deserve the best care that money can buy. You can check them out at permanentmakeupinmaine.com. Whiplash Media, the official graphic and camera provider of PitStop TV. Check them out at www.pitstoptv.com/whiplash. And of course, BAM Racing Videos, by a race fan for the racing community. Coming up next on the channel, we got a plethora of broadcasts. Well, Monday night we had the BRP iRacing Series from Lernerville. We'll cover them in a second, but it was a phenomenal season opener at Lernerville. You won't want to miss it tonight. Of course, we had the Outlaws Sim Series at the Texas Motor Speedway. But tomorrow night, race number 4 of the North American Racing League from Detroit Belle Isle tomorrow night. The time was there, 9:15 p.m. Eastern. You won't want to miss that. We carry on, of course. On Monday night, the BRP iRacing Series is back at it at Volusia. That is at 8 p.m. Eastern. Don't miss that for race number 2 of their Dirt Big Block season. And, of course, the Outlaws Sim Series will be back in action next Wednesday night from the Charlotte Roval. You won't want to miss that as well. Charlotte Roval cutoff race for round number 2. We take 10 down to 7 drivers as they look at the next round at Talladega and Bristol. But before that, of course, is Charlotte, and you won't want to miss it. But at that, I think that's going to do it for us here at PitStop TV. Again, we thank you all for tuning in and joining us for tonight's broadcast. We hope you enjoyed. Join us for tonight's action. We hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. And that'll do it here from the virtual Fort Worth, Texas. For all at PitStop TV, João Paulo Costa joining me on commentary this evening, filling in for Devin Zimmerman. Vincent Cortez rocking our social media coverage tonight. I am Emerson Arn. You all have a great night. Y'all stay warm. Y'all stay safe. We will see y'all hopefully tomorrow night for the North American Racing League Round 4 from Detroit Belle Isle, or next Wednesday night for the Outlaws Sim Series Gunman Trucks Race 19 to 22 Playoff Race number 4 from the Charlotte Roval.
Have you found yourself trying to hide your joy because you're unhappy with your teeth? Your smile is the first feature noticed in an interview, on a date, or in family photos. We want you to be able to shine bright as your best self, and our teeth whitening system is the perfect step toward restoring your confidence.